This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
At T-Mobile, we'll give you 4 free 5G phones and 4 lines for only $25 per line per month with eligible trade-ins. And no, it's not a contest. It's every day for a limited time. Everyone's a winner on America's largest 5G network.
Minimum of 4 lines for $25 per line per month with autopay discount using debit or bank account. $5 more per line without autopay. Up to $830 off each phone via 24 monthly bill credits plus taxes, fees, and $10 device connection charge. For well-qualified customers, contact us before canceling entire account to continue bill credits or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement due. Bill credits end if you pay off devices early. See T-Mobile.com.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, a lot of people in the Seattle metropolitan area, well, they're excited for tomorrow. That's when we get a one-day reprieve from the gloom and the chill. According to Como 4 forecaster one George Waldenberger, folks in South Seattle and the Chehalis Valley, you can expect about 70 degrees. If you're in the Kelso Longview area, first, sorry, but also you can expect upwards of 76 degrees, while here in Seattle, we'll hit right around 68. That is awesome news for people like myself. Then again, I don't have seasonal allergies, and if you do, tomorrow is the beginning of the itchy eyes, the scratchy throat, the runny nose. You and my wife, Ted, you guys.
Yeah, my eyes are already puffy as I've been itching them.
You guys are locked in step with allergy season. And here's the great news, Ted. According to medical experts, allergy season starts earlier, lasts longer, and is more potent.
Yay.
There's a whole list of reasons. We'll get to that, but just what you wanted to hear. Now, that said, it's also spring cleaning season. And with that in mind, they released the 5 things people forget to clean most in their homes. And one of those things is your air conditioning filter. And I bring this up because we're back to the allergy thing. In layman's terms, your filter is gross and grosser than the air that's even outside. That's one of them. We'll cover the other 4, but if you have allergies, that's the one to keep in mind. But don't fret. Your entire house, disgusting cesspool, according to the experts. But these are just some of the stories we've come across. Stories that left us with many questions. Questions we'd like to ask you in the form of a random question brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration. And this is how it works. You call us, we'll ask you a question at complete random. And after you share your story, we will share with you the news story that inspired said question.
To be a part of the big show on the random question, call 206-803-ROCK. Like KISW on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com. Hold the tell us the way we go. Welcome to Season 20, episode number 4,287. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat coming up at 4:30. The exciting return of Your Guess Is As Good As Mine. Ted, you're going to like these categories today.
What do we got?
All right. We've got the 10 best backyard games of all times.
All right.
Based on fun, accessibility, and overall popularity.
All right.
So if we're going to go hang out in the backyard, what are we doing? We got 10 of the most popular backyard games. Then, America's hot sauce preferences. They are broken down by states. They are broken down by region. But yes, in fact, we have the top hot sauces and chili sauce brands that Americans...
So it is the brand name.
...eat more than any other. That is correct. So you can't just say hot sauce. You got to be specific.
All right.
Is it Texas Pete? Is it Frank's? Is it this? Is it that? Hell, it could be from a fast food restaurant that has an amazing hot sauce. It doesn't get enough credit. But either way, it's going to be hot sauce or backyard games coming up with Your Guess Is As Good As Mine. What else do we have for you today? Seattle Rock Day, announced today, is April the 4th. All about Seattle music, our annual celebration, where we highlight Seattle's amazing music legacy. And not only that, but help out our friends at SMASH, Seattle Musicians Access to Sustainable Healthcare. Now,
yes,
those guys do amazing work as far as providing medical, dental, mental health services at a very low cost or absolutely free. Comprehensive dental care is available, mental health session coverage, hearing screening and protection, vision exams, physical therapy, primary care, visits, and substance use disorder treatment. So what they do is amazing. We will have an auction that day and try to get some money for some great items, and also donate now at KISW.com.
Seattle Rock Day, Thursday, April 3rd. Not the 4th, the 3rd.
April 3rd.
Oh, April 3rd.
Yeah.
April 3rd.
Thursday the 3rd.
Dude. Yeah.
The 3rd.
The 3rd.
That's actually a printed sheet that doesn't
third.
read.
The 3rd.
The
All right.
3rd.
Glad to hear about that.
Thursday the 3rd.
All right.
Next Thursday.
Next
Thursday
thing,
the
I'll
3rd.
do is email the people responsible for our. Oh, they changed it on the website.
There you go.
Boom. Okay, see, that's what happens when you try to work ahead. Seattle Rock Day is April 3rd, like I said, as we celebrate the best in Seattle music, and some of those memorabilia and auction items include a Lincoln Park pit ticket to their show in September.
Ticket?
Tickets.
Okay. I just won. I'd invite my friends, but I can't.
Alice in
Sir,
Chains.
you've won one ticket.
Devil Put Dinosaurs here, limited edition vinyl. Oh boy, a round of golf with myself and Mike Hawk. And so much more.
Well, look at that.
How about that? I wonder how much money that'll pull in.
Nothing.
Ooh. We see $6, we have $7.
Lots of surprises in there.
Lots of
$7.
surprises, man.
Maybe
Get to
$8.
play a round of golf. And, Mike, we're going to have to ask you to do a deep dive. We do not know if it still exists. Castle brought this up earlier because we're kicking around some ideas. And we've been there for 20 years, man. So we've talked to a lot of cats in the Seattle music scene. Jeff Tate from Queensryche, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the first guys we talked to when we got in there. And I forgot that we had him do this, but he did it. He read Redfish, Bluefish.
Okay.
One fish, two fish.
He did.
I totally forgot that.
he's got-
Castle goes, "You're going to play that?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I forgot about that. That was an amazing moment."
Well, he's got amazing pipes, but he sounds like
one fish, two fish.
His tone and the way that he
speaking voice is about here.
he could do voiceovers probably.
Yeah.
Or, read books on tape or whatever the deal is.
He did redfish, bluefish, man.
He's got one
We're
of
going to
those,
launch that man's career.
If we can find it.
If I don't know how long ago it was, man.
Yeah, we've got a chance to sit down and to be honest with you, other than Pearl Jam, I believe we've had a member of all the big four in, and then other bands.
Have we never had a Pearl Jam guy?
We've never had Heart or any of the members in Heart.
No. I felt like when Jolene was there, she got a lot of heart love. Lady to lady thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have we had no one from Pearl Jam?
I do not believe so. I've been involved for a couple of years with Mike McCready's flag football game, so I've met him.
Yeah.
But
And
he's
McCready played the national anthem once before, like a new original
Salute the
thing.
Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been
there.
around, but we've never interviewed any of them. God damn. Yeah.
What about
You tanked our chances with Eddie Vedder, I'm pretty sure.
No.
what
Eddie
about
knows I love him.
The drummer. He's in like all the bands.
Matt Cameron.
Matt Cameron was
There you
interviewed
go.
Oh,
Right.
but with a Soundgarden full band
But
interview.
he is
But he's a
also
member of
in
Pearl Jam.
But that doesn't count.
I mean, we didn't
doesn't
talk Pearl
count.
Jam, but still,
It doesn't-
he's in the band.
It doesn't count.
He was here.
It
Real
doesn't-
nice guy.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
So if we had Eddie Vedder, but he was talking about Temple of the Dog, would that still mean like
Look, you see
we
Matt-
didn't get the Pearl Jam thing?
Look, you see Matt Cameron on the street.
Yeah.
Okay, you walk up to him. Now you have
give him
one,
a hug. That's the first thing he would ask.
You have one of two choices. You can have a Pearl Jam conversation. You can have a Soundgarden conversation. You can't have both.
I'll talk to him about Pearl Jam now.
Okay, yeah.
But man,
He's like, I don't have time for both these bands' questions.
I can't do both.
I can do one or the other.
Right.
I'm Matt Cameron. I'm busy.
Yeah.
But we've had.
He didn't strike me as the guy that really wants to go out and do all the interviews to begin with.
No.
Very nice, but just kind of a quiet dude.
We did get lucky with Soundgarden because they were obviously getting back together, and at that point in time, they were doing a national radio interview with some either somebody in New York or like one of the shows that they play like on a weekly
Eddie
basis.
Trunk or something like that.
On most radio stations around on a Saturday or Sunday, whatever the deal is. But they were in there, so we got a chance to interview them before they went and did their national, whatever the hell, interviews. Yeah, I'm losing my mind today. But Seattle Rock Day is April 3rd, so hopefully we'll be able to dig up some of the old interviews. Chris Novoselic from Nirvana, he's been in here multiple times.
No, we didn't talk to him about Nirvana.
No, we did not.
He was what was the name of the band?
Giants Hugging Trees.
Giants, something like that.
Something,
But technically, not Nirvana. We talked to Dave Grohl, but it's about Foo Fighters. Not Nirvana.
Yeah, but he was in Nirvana.
He was in Nirvana, but that's not what we talked to him about. Much like your Matt Cameron thing. I'm just saying.
Okay.
All right. We've never talked. And Kurt, he just won't return our calls.
Yeah, we talked to Barrett Martin from the Screaming Trees, not from Mad Season.
Right. Screaming Trees.
Screaming Trees only.
He talked about both.
We're very specific.
Yeah.
So
we
I would
that
count Matt Cameron.
Wait, what, as far as Pearl Jam?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't count.
We have to go back and listen
I'm
to that
just
interview and
saying,
see if he brings up
it doesn't
Pearl
count.
Jam at all.
But I mean, if we interview Deion Sanders,
Yeah.
and we just talk baseball, I still feel confident saying we interviewed an NFL player.
All right, well, we've had...
we did, but it wasn't an NFL talk about any one of the 430 teams he played.
We've had Duff McKagan in here from the legendary Seattle band The Farts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're covering most of the Seattle scene.
Did we ever talk to him about Guns N' Roses when we've had Duff in? I feel
just the
either
Farts.
solo stuff, right. I don't know that we talk much about Guns N' Roses. We did talk to Slash about Guns N' Roses, even though he came in for Snake Pit.
We've had Jerry Cantrell in. We've had Sean Kinney in before multiple times. So Alice in Chains, pretty well covered. William Duvall's come in a few
I was
times.
going to say, we've had the band in, so that's
We had the
easier.
entire band. Yeah.
Everyone except for Mike. For
But
the most
none of
part.
them wanted to talk about Alice in Chains.
Yeah. Got Soundgarden covered. We've got, Nirvana covered for the most part, 2 out of 3.
We never talked to the Nirvana guys about Nirvana, though.
Well, I mean,
Look, Chris came in and he's talking about his new band. And when we talked to Dave Grohl, he's talking about Foo Fighters. They didn't bring up Nirvana. I'm sure
just
Nirvana
saying,
came up, but it was not an
Other than
interview
Pearl
about
Jam,
Nirvana.
there's been a big Seattle band. We've had a chance to talk to somebody.
True. Just saying. That's not what they were talking
Okay.
about.
We're going to play some snippets from from those interviews. April 3rd, which is
Thursday,
Seattle
April
Rock Day.
3rd.
Yes. Oh, and more closer to home than that. Thursday, if you get a chance, man, opening day, we'll be down at Pioneer Tacos and Tequilas doing our show live and broadcasting down there from 2 until 6. As nice as you said, the weather's going to be tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
We are broadcasting inside, right, Mike?
Well, yeah.
I hope the hell we are. Okay, cool.
We should be.
Stop on inside.
If we're not, then be dumb.
Get some tacos, get some tequilas, get a men's room IPA, hang with us before you go into the stadium. There are a number of celebrations going on opening day. So if you're down near the stadiums, number one, I would get there earlier than not. I would stop in and see us earlier than not. I know that they're having a couple of celebrations beforehand as far as the Mariners Gold Glove winners. I know that since the A's are in town, they're going to do a tribute to Ricky Henderson, who not only played with the A's, but played with every other Major League Baseball team for at least 5 minutes on his entire career.
Or is this the Sacramento A's?
This is the Sacramento.
Okay.
You're right.
Because they're not Vegas yet,
Yeah,
and they're
they're
not in
Sacramento.
Oakland, so Sacramento
Are
A's.
they calling them the Sacramento A's?
You know, man, I don't know, right? Because they're going to Vegas. That's the idea. They have already left Oakland before they got to Vegas, so they're playing in Sacramento, but I don't know.
And they're playing at the minor league ballpark there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just trying to wait for the Vegas
Staring at the rats that are watching.
stadium to be complete. Yeah, they should be the Sacramento Rats.
My God, man.
I mean, honest to God, just do it like minor league baseball. Did you see what the Bowie Bay Sox did, Ted?
No, but I drove by their stadium not that long ago.
Okay, the Bowie Bay Sox, they are a minor league team that was close to where we were in Baltimore. They are they're an Orioles affiliate. They've been the Bay Sox for years, but like a lot of the minor league baseball teams, for a couple...
Dude, they're just calling them the Athletics.
Oh, they are.
I'm trying to Google it. I'm looking at all the predictions and everything. It just says Athletics in the standings.
So the Bowie Bay Sox, for at least 2 or 3 games, they are changing their name for a different kind of night or whatever the series is or whatever, but they will now be the Bowie Oysters, all right?
Okay.
Or Bay Oysters or whatever the hell it is, all right? So they have this logo now.
Oh, I did see that. Yes.
Which is kind of a baseball glove.
With a vagina in the
with an
middle.
oyster in the middle of it.
It does not look like an oyster.
And if you look at this picture, which is going to be on these, I would go
In
down
a
there
heartbeat.
and get a ticket just to be able to stand in line and buy one of these jerseys or hats so that I would have it for life. And I wouldn't even wear it. This is a keepsake, man. This is maybe on certain occasions I wear my vagina.
I'd wear it. If anyone, dude, it's an oyster. It's not my fault that it looks like a vagina. It obviously looks like a vagina. And I have to tell you that it's not a vagina, but it's not a vagina.
It looks like an oyster. It's got a pearl in it.
Yeah.
I've never seen a lady part with a pearl in it.
You got
not down there anyhow.
Yeah. Opening day, Thursday. Join us for live Big Dummy, the head chef, with some tacos and tequila for us at Pioneer Tacos and Tequila. That is down on Occidental, down there right near the stadium. So hopefully you'll be able to.
You know what I like
stop
about
by.
Occidental? I can have an accident in my pants. It's entirely different than having an accident in your pants. Ooh, I just suffered an accident.
Occidental. Yes, that's where we'll be.
Accidental discharge.
And you get in there. You can't get in there on the other side of the building. You have to be on Occidental.
Correct.
Most of those buildings in there, you kind of have to walk through the roadway, occasional walkway, occasional. Am I allowed to drive here? Occasional. What is this road? That's the road you want to be on, and I'm assuming that's going to be closed down for opening day. Sure. All right, today's the day we do our random question. Question 206-803-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Richard. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, fellas.
Hola! Richard, welcome to the program. Random question. Let's go with this one. Richard, what would you say is the most dangerous thing in your home? The thing that could do the most damage, one way or another. Well, it was accidental.
My wife.
Yeah. What is the most dangerous thing?
Probably my cat.
Your cat, you said?
Yeah.
Now, does your cat like you? Does it show signs that it might want to kill you? Is it killing the local wildlife? What?
He's an old cat, and you can just walk by him, and he'll growl at you, and every once in a while, he'll just swat at you.
And how long have you had this cat?
He's 14 years old.
And how long has he been doing the growl and swat?
For about 8 years.
All right. So does that mean he's still not used to you, or this is just his mannerism?
That's just the way he is. He actually wore a cone for the last 5 years because he wouldn't quit licking himself. That was part of it.
Okay.
And he was just pissed off because he had to wear the stupid cone, but he doesn't have that anymore. But anytime you move him, you sit down, he'll growl at you.
Is it just you, or is it anyone that goes to your house?
Anyone that comes to the house.
Okay. All right. Ted, what's the most dangerous thing in your home?
I mean, I own a gun, but it's in a safe.
That's number one, then.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you have a mandolin or anything you cook with? Or do you have a space heater that's, I'm thinking about things that could potentially cause harm.
Like a gun, can be dangerous, hence you put it in a safe. But you're right. Something like the mandolin, it's just sitting there next to the rest of your kitchen crap. You're more than likely to hurt yourself on a mandolin than a gun. If you handle the gun with caution, mandolin, people are like, I don't need to wear the glove, I don't need the guard, I'll be fine.
All the time.
And then
maybe some kitchen knives that are pretty sharp.
Yeah, sometimes you wouldn't think about it, but an avocado could be potentially very dangerous.
Yeah, depending on how you choose to cut it.
Yeah, and I would say sometimes for me with certain packaging, I'm just lazy and don't grab scissors, and I'll just take a sharp knife and slice it open.
I'm right there with you, man.
I know better.
I know. I'm just waiting to poke myself and go to the hospital. And I'll be like, I know I knew better.
I was quartering a chicken the other day with a cleaver, and I thought, man, I was about a half inch away from taking my thumb off. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just stupid stuff like that.
I'll tell you what, a few weeks ago, man, I got one of those fruit cups, like the Mexican dude, the side of the highway. Man.
You just pulled over on the side of the highway, bought a fruit cup? That is dangerous.
Yeah, it was delicious, though, man. You put all the spice in there and the tahini.
Did you eat the fruit cup in the car?
Yeah.
While you're driving?
I wasn't driving. My cousin was.
Oh, okay. All right.
But the way to watch that guy just handle that giant, butcher snake.
They're different, man.
And he's cutting open coconuts. And
I was going to say, did he have coconut?
He had coconut, which was pretty impressive. I like the idea of drinking the water. I don't like coconut enough just to eat it, but the one I got was awesome. You always see those guys. I was like, let's just stop and get one.
Yeah, why not?
Raise me ask, what is the most dangerous thing?
I had mango.
Ooh, very good. Most dangerous thing in your home. A family in Gold Bar woke up to the sound of bullets flying through their home early Thursday morning. A huge fire had taken over part of their home, causing ammunition that was stored in the home to begin exploding and firing. The fire also killed a number of pets that were part of the family business. When the bullets started exploding, the sound actually woke the family up. When they woke up, they saw flames that were shooting 20 feet in the air. Although they were able to save the kids and the dogs, they are grieving the loss of around 20 of the family's pet snakes, Ted, that didn't survive the fire.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yes, but he did not. The dad, I could hear the bullets flying past me. I could hear, them hitting stuff and going off, but he still ran in and got his kids out and got his dogs out. His girlfriend helped him at the time. Then the fire broke out in the bedroom. His girlfriend said the flames were 20 feet, if not higher, bending over the roof of the house. He said he knows, I've got about 5,000 rounds of ammo in there.
Not anymore.
Sound of gunfire was a blessing because it did wake them up. But when bullets were flying everywhere.
Right.
We pulled the kids out. We had to pull the dogs out. It was just chaos. We evacuated the family, started moving vehicles away from the flames as the bullets continued to fly. I didn't really care. I was just like, we got to get in the house and save the kids. Number one priority. Then he tried to save about 20 of the family snakes. He and his daughter were beginning a pet python and boa business.
They got to start again.
They are going to need to start again. More of the Random Question coming up. 206-803-ROCK.
The Women's Hoop Show, a podcast hosted by me, Jordan Robinson, brings you fresh women's basketball voices and breakdowns every week. I'll be joined by hoop experts all year long. Find the Women's Hoop Show on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Always live on the free Odyssey app from the Pinky's Plumbing Studio. You're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Random Question, 206-803-ROCK.
I'm going to rock out to this for a minute.
I feel like I'm in a lounge in the Holiday Inn.
I was going to say, where are you that you hear this music other than this show?
Hi, everybody. My name's Tommy Diamond. Welcome to the Days Inn. Bathroom's over there to the left, ladies. If you're looking for that one. No, wrong door. Yep, that one right there. You see make sure the woman in the dress, that means you. Okay.
2-for-1 margaritas.
Remember to take care of your bartender.
That's right. Working hard for me, they're working hard for you.
That girl at the bar is a hooker.
Bet you doubles those are daytime bartender.
Hey, look at that, an umbrella and a drink. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's just a 7-up.
You know how to live there, young lady.
Uncle Phil with the Corona saw him by the pool earlier.
In case you're wondering, no, we have not updated this carpet since 1974.
Random.
Hello, Krista. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Krista, welcome to the program. Random question. All right. Okay.
All right.
Krista, let's go with this one. Okay. What would you say is the most money that you have spent on a pet? What is the most money? On a pet? Yeah.
Sometimes it needs surgery, that kind of crap.
I don't know. I've only had a couple pets, and I was a kid when I had them.
All right, what did you have?
I had a dog and a cat, and then we also had an iguana that bit my nose and hung there for like 30 seconds. It was painful.
Did you have to go to the hospital as a result of the iguana bite?
No, it was just on like like that middle part of your nostrils, the little divider, I guess. I don't know what to call it.
Well, as far as there being an expense involving a pet, I mean, that counts. So if you're going to the ER and they need to do something and that costs money, then
how long did you have this iguana?
We had it probably like 5 years, and then it got way too big for where we were living, and my dad had to give it to one of his friends who raises iguanas, I guess, because he had a whole bunch of them. But we had it for like 5 years or something. They get huge.
How big was this? Was it like 6 feet long or somewhere around there?
Probably about that, yeah, 5 or 6 feet. They get really big.
Do they do anything interesting? I mean, you can look at an iguana, and it's reasonably interesting just because it's a reptile. But after that, your cats will play with it, your dogs will play with it. What does an iguana do?
Nothing. It just sits there or lays there in one spot and moves when it needs to eat.
How long have you been out of your dad's place?
A while. I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, something like that.
Is there a chance that thing is still alive? I mean, I don't know the lifespan of an iguana, but
so. They live a long time. They can live I really don't know for sure, but I think they can live 70, 80 years or something.
See,
maybe even
again,
100.
I don't want that as a pet.
You got to drag.
Nobody likes to lose a pet, but I also don't want a pet that's going to live as long as me. And what do you feed an iguana when it's feeding time? Obviously, you're not giving them Alpo.
Yeah, so when they're smaller, you give them just mealworms and stuff like that, bugs basically. I don't think they eat mice. When the whole time we had him, we only gave him mealworms and insects and bugs and stuff.
Well, no wonder he bit you. He was hungry.
I'm sorry?
I said, no wonder he bit you. He was hungry.
It's like bugs are gross.
Maybe.
I'm not going to survive on
Right,
that.
so-
He's huge. He eats mealworms.
So do you plan on ever getting a pet, or are you done with the pet thing?
I want to get a cat, but my boyfriend's allergic, but I might get one anyway. I don't know for sure
That
yet.
doesn't seem very nice if he's allergic.
Well, it depends on how much he likes your boyfriend did.
Hey, all he's got to do is take some Benadryl.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Just put him to sleep.
How many nights a week does he come over and visit?
Well, he lives with me, so.
Oh, so that's perfect. He'll move out.
No, wait, does he know that you still might just get a cat, quote unquote, anyway?
Yeah, I talk to him about it all the time, actually, and he's always like, I'm allergic, but then he'll see a kitten and he'll think it's cute, and then he'll be like, yeah, maybe we should.
Well,
if he's giving you that much of a green light, just go for it.
I mean, as an adult,
right? I should.
As an adult, I think you have a better chance to adjust as far as your allergies go when you're around something long enough.
Well, because we'll take care of it. You know, kids wait until they're damn near hospital bedridden before they mention that they're having an allergic reaction. And why a cat? I'm just curious.
Because they're fluffy and cute. I like cats. Plus, they're jerks, and I like that.
All right.
Okay, then a cat is perfect for you. Yeah.
Says a lot about your boyfriend. I think the most I ever spent, man, my dog tore an ACL. And that surgery was, I want to say, even with a discount, because my wife at the time worked at a veterinary clinic, it was still about $2,500 to $3,000.
That's about what I've had to drop on our dog when our dog thought that maybe he should fight Rainbow.
Oh.
And Rainbow has a very strong ground game because by the time I got to it, you know, the dog's on top, the cat's on the bottom. You kind of break them up. And the cat just does what cats do, just kept licking its claws, right? Then I'm looking at the dog, and the dog, like, her health was just kind of going down.
Yeah.
As the day went on, finally, she got some kind of infection from effing with the cat. Ended up costing me over $1,000, like $1,500, $2,000. And I'm like, dude, don't fight the cat, man, if you can't fight. Years ago, dating this chick, and she takes me over to meet her friend and her friend's husband. I've never met her friend's husband before in my life. And he's just one of these guys, man. He had this little dog named Angel. Oh, my God, it's a cute dog. It was not cute. It's one of those little terrier things. But what? I'm trying to make conversation. And he's like, well, actually, man, that's Angel 2. I'm like, Angel 2? You used to have a dog just like this, man. And keep in mind, he's being dead serious. And I'm trying so hard not to laugh because he's kind of reliving this moment. He's like, man, I got in my truck one morning and backing out the driveway and something went kaboom-coom-coom. And it's like, I don't know what it was, so it's his story, man. So I pulled forward, kaboom-coom-coom again. I get on my truck and I look, man, and it's Angel. I'm like, oh, God, man, you ran over Angel? Yeah, but she wasn't dead yet, man. So her guts had exploded out of her backside.
Oh, God.
But this is the story he's telling. We're both, like, drinking a Bud Light, and I'm like, what have I gotten myself into? It's like, so I picked up her guts and her and scooped her up, put her in the blanket, and I drove her straight down to the vet, man, because this is my dog. I said, no, dude, I get it, man, I get it. It's like, and I got to the vet, and I said, hey, we can save your dog. And he's like, oh, thank the Lord you can save my dog, man, because I was feeling bad. I said, but look, it's going to cost about $18,000 to put all this stuff back inside of her and kind of nurse her back to health. Or for $500, we can euthanize her. So what would you do, man? It's like, oh, I say my goodbyes, man. I was like, you went through this whole damn story. Yeah, so he paid $500 and now to take it now.
My dog
so
was
that's why he got Angel 2.
My dog was in like a mini cast there for a little while, right? So it was just to keep it mobile. Or,
immobile,
yeah, but he could still walk on it, but it was just, it kept it more stiff. So finally, they take his cast off, and we're walking up to the park, and he's finally getting his freedom now. He's the muscles are starting to get a little stronger in that leg. Blah 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 blah. And I look, and that damn dog's limping again, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! I was like, I cannot believe you. Oh, that's the other leg. Oh, Jesus.
No.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, it was a day after that cast or whatever, that thing got off, man. I take him up to the park, and all of a sudden he's limping again. I'm like, did you tear the... Oh, that's the other one.
I'd have had a three-legged dog.
$2,000, $3,000. I mean, this kid was bionic on the back. By the time I got done, it was $6,000 deep.
God,
that sucked.
And somebody here says they spent $14,000 on their dog's throat surgery.
Man.
Good. 14, geez.
$14,000, man.
The reason we asked what's the most money you've spent on your pets, an Indian dog breeder recently paid about $5.81 million for a unique cross between a real wolf and a Caucasian shepherd, making it the most expensive canine in the world.
He's good at assists.
Named Catabomb Okami. Catabomb Okami. The pricey canine was reportedly bred in the U.S. and purchased by a man named Sadish a dog enthusiast and the president of the Indian Dog Breeders Association.
Sorry, what? It's a wolf and a Caucasian what?
Caucasian Shepherd.
Caucasian. I'm just
Just
curious.
like
a white shepherd,
like the kind in the Bible. He is renowned for his collection of over 150 dog breeds. Actually, we know nobody in the Bible is technically white. Jesus Christ. Even Jesus
That
Christ.
is a big-ass dog.
God
damn.
Told reporters he felt the price tag was worth it for Katabam Okami because he is literally one of kind. Plus, he is an impressive specimen. At just 8 months old, he is already about 75 kilograms and stands 30 inches tall. What's 75 kilograms?
That'd be about 220 pounds.
What's American on that? 220?
Oh, right. I think it's a little less than 220. Ask a drug dealer, they will tell you.
75 kilograms, 165 pounds.
Oh, 165. All right, that's way off.
Still a big-ass dog.
It already speaks 3 languages.
My dog and I get more attention than an actor at a movie screening. This is not the Indian dog breeder's first extravagant purchase last year. He bought a rare Chow Chow specimen that allegedly bears a striking resemblance to a red panda for $3.25 million.
Or he bought a red panda.
He has over 150 dogs on his 7-acre hectare. What's a hectare?
I'm not quite sure the exact size of hectare. I don't know if it's bigger or smaller than a regular acre.
So he's got a big estate and showcases the rarest of them at events all around India. Before he gets paid between $3,000 and $12,000 just to show up with the dogs. He's already started using Akama to win back his investment, showcasing him at several high-profile events, including film premieres. He claims people flock to see the world's most expensive dog even more than they usually do his other dogs.
I guess. Maybe to see it, but you tell me it's part wolf. I'm like, no, thank you, man.
What's the lifespan on this thing? 7 years?
It's a
Dog that
huge
big?
dog to start with.
I would say
right?
10.
So the bigger the dog, the shorter the lifespan.
Generally speaking, yeah.
Okay.
Random.
I don't know, does it help if you're a mutt? I mean, it makes with the wolf. I don't know. How long do wolves live? I'm going to guess a wolf in the wild, 15 years, maybe?
On a T-shirt, Howling at the Moon, about 8.
8, hold on. How long is it?
They say 16 years in captivity.
All right.
So I guess about 13 years in the wild.
All right. Okay.
Most die long before that age, though.
Because they're wolves. By the way, a hectare is approximately 100 acres. So he's got a lot of space.
Okay, that's property.
Hello, Solomon. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, Hola.
Solomon, welcome to the program. Random question. We'll give you this one. What is the food that you despise? You just don't get, and you can't figure out why people like this crap, but it's just not for you.
Tofu.
Tofu. Okay. All right. Do you have people that you know that eat tofu?
Yeah, all my what do you call it? People that don't eat meat.
Vegetarian friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all my vegetarian friends.
What about it, even if they slather in like tofu on its own? It doesn't have a lot of taste, but the little bit of taste it has is S. But to me, tofu's like chicken, where you could smell the barbecue sauce, teriyaki sauce, whatever. You wouldn't know if it's chicken or tofu, other than consistency.
Like in Thai food, there's better options. I mean, even if hopefully you're pescatarian, you can do shrimp instead of tofu.
I would pick everything before tofu, but tofu's not the worst. I guess is the way to put it.
I've been with people who went, basically pescatarian at times. And we would go and get Thai food, and always one dish, it comes back with tofu in it.
Yeah.
Because that's not my pick. And I'm just like, why, man? Why? I mean,
for me, it's consistency. I don't like the way it feels in my mouth.
Yeah, okay.
I'm with you. Because the flavor, and everybody goes, it takes the flavor of whatever you're cooking. Like, correct. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm eating a sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of are.
Any kind of seafood, I hate.
Really?
Oh, you hate seafood? Well, that's a bigger deal.
I mean, does that include, like, if I had, tuna salad? Does that include that, too?
No, okay. So there's a couple things I don't mind. Tuna with a bunch of mayonnaise in it, and the only other seafood I can eat is swordfish, grilled without any skin on it.
Wow, that's quite the.
What is it? What you don't like the texture, or you don't like the taste
of seafood?
Yes,
I don't like the taste of it at all. It's a bit like I've tried salmon so many different ways, and it tastes just like the nastiest.
It'll make me gag. Somebody was going to pay me $100 to eat an oyster once if I could, and I couldn't swallow it. I was sending every brain signal in my.
How about crustaceans? Can you eat mussels? Will you eat crab? Will you eat lobster? Will you eat clams?
No, I've had lobster before, and that was okay, but it still was just borderline.
All right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
You
I'm
like
not a big fan of
what
lobster.
you like.
I like crab. I don't like lobster. Salmon, I like as long as you don't cook it. You can smoke it, you can cure it, you can give it to me raw, I'm fine. I don't know what happens once you cook salmon to it. Like, the taste changes. I think we all know that. But what the taste changes into, to me, is horrible.
And lobster, too, like, I like lobster. To me, it's always shocking how much it's priced.
Yeah.
Like, I just think crabs are much, much better.
All right, so Dungeness crab's got a lot more actual crab meat to it, obviously, than blue crab. But the meat is differently, it tastes different. So blue crab is more of a sweeter meat, where a Dungeness crab is not, but you get more crab out of the deal. Where like a snow crab starts to get sweet again, and a king crab starts to get a little bit more sweet again.
Yeah.
Lobster's the same way. Like if you get a spiny lobster in the Caribbean or in Mexico or, San Diego, they're spiny, they're different, they're good grilled, but they're not sweet. Now, if you go to Maine, you get a sweet lobster, which I think, they're two totally different tastes, but they're delicious.
I would also say this. You know how people look at crabs, right?
Yeah.
Especially a Dungeness easier, right? Because it's a bigger one. And I love Dungeness crab, too. But I think sometimes the meat inside of them tastes different than the claw meat. Mm-hmm. So for lobster, like when I was on the Cape in May, and my cousin made these baked lobsters, it was awesome. You eat the meat, too. The meat was fine, but like the claw meat was phenomenal.
Really? That's why.
And I just think somehow it was like the claw meat tasted sweeter.
Any bar you go into down in Florida where my dad lives, they have stone claw baskets. Where they're basically, there's like 10 of them in there.
Correct.
And you see more of those come out of the kitchen than just about any other item at the one bar that he goes to.
It's easy eating, man.
People eat stone claws.
Well, and that stone crab, you just take his one claw and he makes a new one.
And you throw them back in.
Yeah. So that's why they can fish them so much.
Right.
Uh-huh.
There was a discussion online about universally loved foods that people think is secretly trash. Here are a few. White chocolate, disgusting. Overnight oats. Who wants to eat soggy, cold, raw oats?
I did not know that was universally, quote-unquote, beloved.
I did not either.
And that's more of the health thing.
Sure.
Truffle oil smells like a high school locker room.
Truffle oil sucks.
Cake pops. I have a hunch that cake pops are the chef's excuse to repurpose older excess cake.
I like me a cake pop, brother.
Here's one. Grew up on the Gulf Coast. Can't stand oysters. Peeps. Who the hell thought of this?
Does anyone eat Peeps?
I do not.
I see people put them in the microwave. They do funny things with them, but I've never actually seen someone eat one.
I hate LaCroix. Tastes like a strawberry dyed. Chocolate ice cream. Love ice cream. Love chocolate. Whenever I have chocolate ice cream, it's inferior to any other kind of ice cream. I agree with that. I don't hate chocolate ice cream.
I enjoy chocolate ice cream.
I would rather have chocolate. American cheese tastes like plastic. IPAs, pretty much the only type of beer I can't stand. It's unfortunate, too, because all the fun name beers with the funky cans of the store or bar, all freaking IPAs.
Like Men's Room IPA.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have a different tasting IPA.
We do.
That is a fact. It's not going to be what this person thinks is going to leave that taste in your mouth. Lobster, avocado toast, yeah, whatever. I'm a millennial woman. Get out of here. Red velvet baked goods. Ooh, I disagree on that one. Chocolate-covered strawberries. I don't like bubble tea. Yeah. Big hamburgers. I don't see the appeal of a thick slab of half-cooked meat. Half-pounder or something like that? No, don't want it. Twinkies. Why are they so damn greasy? Mac and cheese, I know. I get crucified for this, but it's just mushy noodles drowned in processed cheese. Kale tastes like burnt tires, and finally, macaroons. They're just expensive, fancy-looking sugar bombs that everyone photographs for Instagram. More of the Random Question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Opening day, Thursday. See you down at Pioneer Tacos in Tequilas for a live broadcast. Men's Room World Tour stop at number 2 on the list. Opening day baseball tacos, tequilas, Men's Room IPA. Live Big Dummy. Head chef will be down there eating some tacos, serving us up some tequila. Hopefully that's on the menu, correct?
That's the idea.
A tequila tasting.
We'll have some tacos. I know you're pushed hard for the tequilas. We'll see.
Yeah, I just want to see the differences in the flavor profiles.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if I want an añejo. I might want a Reyes. I might want a Blanco. I don't even know what I want.
You got to try them all, man. Figure it out.
Exactly. Head chef will be down there serving up tequila for us.
And keep in mind, at the stadium itself, in certain sections, you'll be able to find the Men's Room IPA.
And I will have a list that'll be updated on Thursday and share that information with you.
Excellent.
I know we're in like 2 or 3 locations.
I know that much. I do not remember which ones they are, though.
Yeah. We'll help you find them.
Random.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
Brian, welcome to the program. Ran a question. Let's go with this one. We can trust that you won't swear. But when is a time in your life that you seemingly always swear? Always. I mean, it's just one of those situational, but you know the first thing out of your mouth is going to be a cuss word.
It's usually traffic, road rage, getting mad at other people driving.
Yeah, that's a good call, dude.
That's universal.
What are your current automobiles that you despise the most on the roadways these days?
Priuses and Teslas. They always seem to be doing the speed limit in the left lane.
Amen.
I had a lot of that yesterday. It's still oblivious to the fact that is the fast lane.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me wonder
traffic was brutal
if they came from a country where you drive on the other side of the road where that is actually the slow lane.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not sure the theory on that, but it is frustrating as hell.
Yeah, just move. It's no big deal. Just get out of the way.
And that is your bulk of rideshare drivers.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. Teslas or Prius.
Yep.
Yeah, God, man, you're absolutely right. I think for me, actually, my first word of the morning, generally speaking, at least Monday through Friday, it's an F-bomb. And I don't mean to, but it's just my wife usually come in and wake me up and say, hey, it's time to get up. And for whatever reason, the first word in my mouth is F. Mm-hmm. And admit, like, not having a bad day. There's nothing wrong. I just know I must get out of bed now. We're like on the weekend, I've been awake for an hour. I've just been laying in bed for an hour. I'm cool with that. But when I know I have to get up, it's just F.
Yeah.
Period. Every single
good call.
time.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what. This is absolutely horrible. And I do not know why I do this, but I do this every time, okay? So if I call someone, not a big deal. My dad calls me. He calls me a couple times a week to find out what's going on, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what it is about when my mom calls. I love my mom. I care about my mom very much. She is one of the most important people in my life. But when she calls me, and I see the phone, the first thing I say is the F word.
Right.
And for no reason. I'm not mad. I don't not want to talk to her. I just don't. It's never inconvenient. It's just like, F.
Yeah.
It's my mom.
That's what I'm saying. There's certain things.
I do not know why.
Getting up. It could be your mom. And again, there's no preconceived idea about how the day is going to be, what your conversation is going to be about. But for whatever reason, there's the trigger, and it's just F. It's never an S-bomb. It's never D. No. It's always just that. Football season, every Sunday, count on it.
Yeah.
I try to mutter it under my breath. I try not to scream it out because of the kids. And it's not just watching the Ravens. It's, anything. I'll see, they'll show a clip of the Steelers got a touchdown, right? I'm just like, F.
Yeah.
Right, because I wanted to lose.
Yep.
And you realize, like, my God, man, I've sat here for 6 hours on a Sunday of all days, and I have cussed more on this day than any other day of the week.
Get in the shower?
I would say, too, I usually get out an F-bomb, like, so I'll get up, right? Like, you go to the bathroom, you might do something else. And then, like, if I don't have anything going on, I'll sit there for like 20 minutes, kind of look at some stuff, look at some news stories, and then go, All right, let's effing do it.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
It's something about getting yourself motivated. That's
When I'm in the shower, I crank that thing. I like a hot shower.
Yeah, me too, man.
I don't spend too much time in there, but I like a hot shower. And I'll grab my towel, and as soon as I open up the curtain, and that first cold hit of hair hits me, it's an every single time. Every single time. It's like, F, it's cold.
Yeah.
And I do it every time. Doesn't matter if it's the summer.
Well, and that shower, generally, right? Like, say you get up, go to the gym, eat, like, that shower to me is like the last thing I'm going to do before it's like, okay,
it's go time.
It's right. You're going to work right after that, like this and that. Mm-hmm. And it's their last little moment of like, I'm just in the shower.
It's the first time I heard my son drop an F-bomb. We had it was a birthday party. He's like 7 years old or something, but they were in a pool. And it was very warm in the pool, but he'd forgotten his towel. So we knew he forgot his towel. We got him a backup one. We just didn't let him know immediately. So he gets out of the pool. He's kind of shivering. And he's talking to his mom. His mom's like, are you cold? Or what's wrong? He's like, I'm effing cold. And immediately like, ooh. Oh, sorry. And I'm like, I can forgive him that one. He's not wrong. That is a legitimate explanation for his situation,
right.
Man. If I see snow. Now, it's one thing if you drive to snow, because you know you're driving towards snow. I'm not a fan of snow. I've never been a fan of snow, so there can be a single flake that comes down. And I know they predicted this on the weather, so I know it's coming. But I try to get it out of my head, and I'll see that first flake, and it's just, F!
Yeah. When I forget I need to do stuff, if I'm late and I look at the clock, F.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed.
If I realize, which I do all the time, I forgot a birthday, I forgot something, it's always 2 weeks of F.
Right.
Work-wise, come in Monday. Our beloved veggie dog down the hallway. The first thing he does is make sure that when you walk into work on Monday, you see all the work that he has for you, and then you have a session at 1 o'clock on Monday. I forget about it every Monday.
Every Monday.
I walk into work every Monday, and the first thing out of my mouth is the F-bomb. It never it doesn't stop. I have all these triggers, and it's not that I mind doing it. It's part of our job.
Takes 10 minutes.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I don't know why it just makes me go, F.
I've got one of those that's work-related. When I mentioned what it is, but it's like, man, and again, it doesn't take that much time. It's really not a big deal.
Thursdays.
But it rubs me.
It's got, I know.
It rubs me the wrong way. In any possible way. It just puts me in a bad mood. It's like,
Well, if you subscribe to our daily podcast, on Friday we do a weekly special Men's Room Happy Hour podcast. And it's in the Friday feed of the daily feed. That's how you download it. And I forget every single Thursday that we record this thing at about 12:30 or 1 o'clock. And Michael walk down the hallway and say, hey, man, it's not that it's a big deal. It's just that I forgot.
Right.
And now all of a sudden it's like, I got all this other stuff to do. But F.
Right.
Damn it.
It's a response every time. Every time.
And it hasn't changed.
Every time.
It hasn't changed. It's just the basic stuff that we need to do. It's not like they're, in here, killing us and making us work, forever. No, it's just, these are just basic things that we need to do for our job.
But you never remember to do them.
Correct.
And by you, I mean all of us, which is like, so Mike will bring it up. It's like, F! Mm-hmm. Every time. Every single time without fail.
Yep. Reason we asked, when do you...
Then I'll go get an effing cigarette.
F. Right.
I would say it's more of just the constant, I get, there is some days I'll forget about it too, but always the constant, it's almost like you guys are angry that you're shocked by it.
Right.
It's all
I'm like, well, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
You can say that, and I should remember, but I don't. So it's almost like you have amnesia. So you're like, F, we got to do what? The same thing you've been doing for the last however many years.
Mm-hmm. F. Yep. And I run out of toilet paper. That's another one.
Oh, man, that will, even at home, you're just like, F, man.
Yeah.
Sort of wipe my ass and be done.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they say, think back to the last time you stubbed your toe. Did you drop any choice words when it happened? 75% of Americans swear when they stub their toe or experienced abrupt physical pain, according to a new poll, especially when you take one to the shin. The shin, to me, a shin shot, on the side of my bed, is worse than a toe stub.
Yeah, that's what I'm tell the kids. Dude, if you cuss because you're in pain, I do not care.
But they do say
you feel better.
That studies have found that swearing does help with pain tolerance. But only a third of people polled think that's true. The last stat, if you get hit by a car and dropped an F-bomb because it shattered your pelvis, the jerk who hit you might judge for you. 1 in 6 people say swearing in public is never acceptable, even if you're in pain, like you've been hit by a car.
Yeah, F yourself.
That's tough to
sorry.
do. Yeah.
Kiss my ass on that one, man.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Got hit by a car. I'm like, so good.
I'm all fine.
Yep.
Although I feel like if you get hit by a car or something really traumatic happens, you don't cuss as much. you kind of calm down. You're trying to really assess how bad things are, right? But like I said, you stub your toe, it just hurts. There's no lasting damage. That's when you get the
I was making a box of macaroni and cheese. Because I'm an idiot, I put the milk in when I'm boiling the water with the butter, right? I go upstairs for 2 seconds. I come back down, that thing is flowing like a volcano all over my stove. Yeah. And I don't have a flat top stove. I've got a gas stove, so it's getting down and all.
And everything.
And I'm just like, mother effer. I know. Damn it. Now I don't know, is this the right amount of water? Is this the right amount of milk? How much foamed out?
I had one on Saturday where I walked out of the grocery store, get to my car, and then start cursing myself because there was something I was supposed to get that I didn't.
Right.
But you know me. I can't just go to the grocery store. There's always the same guy with the cool mustache who checks you out. So
I know exactly.
So I have talked to him. So now I'm like, I don't want to go back in.
Because he already talked.
Because he knows I'm an idiot.
Well, yeah. That's why you didn't go back in?
Yeah.
I don't think that guy's judging.
What did you need?
It's not important.
All right. Okay.
I bet you're mad at yourself anyway.
I forgot the Ruffles.
You forgot the chips.
Well, it's a party,
we were
man.
going to
You gotta get the
tailgate, so I
Ruffles.
bought dips. I bought French onion dip. And then I was like, damn it, I forgot the Ruffles.
So there's no chips for the dip?
No, I swallowed my pride and went back in.
Okay.
You did.
Right,
Did you see Mustache Guy?
Yeah, he didn't say anything. I just went, I forgot the chips.
Well, that's fair.
But I had no reason to. But again, nobody cared. Nobody in that store cared.
Nobody. But
for some reason, that just drove me up a wall. Like, son of a, you're an idiot.
What about when you get to your car to come to work and you realize your phone's upstairs or your wallet's upstairs or whatever the hell it is? Like, God, it's only one flight of steps in my house. Not a big deal, but I always cuss if I have to go back up them.
Actually, I cussed today. Yeah. I'd made a smoothie this morning. My whole point was put it right here so you remember it when you walk out the door. And I didn't. And look, we hadn't even pulled out yet. I literally just sat in the car for 1 second, realized I wasn't there, and for
all that work.
It took 5 seconds to walk in the house rabbit. It did not even warrant an F-bomb, but there it was anyway.
Yep.
Top of the load.
Leftovers from the night before, bringing those in today for lunch. I left them in the refrigerator once again when I got to work, and I'm like, mother.
Or what about when you have leftovers, and either A, you leave them at the restaurant.
That
drives you up a wall. Or B, what I've done before is you have dinner, and then it's like, let's go get another drink. And then you leave them at the next place.
Yeah, that's why you never buy something when you are bar hopping. If you're in a town and you're new to the town, you're walking around, you see a lot of cool stuff, don't buy anything. I'm telling you, you will leave it under a bar stool somewhere during your travels. It almost never fails.
Yeah, if you're bar hopping, that's a good call.
You know?
Someone here says, when you drop your phone on the ground. Yeah, that's more just the expense of it. Like, I don't care that I dropped the phone. I don't even care if the phone breaks, other than the fact phones cost $10 million.
Yeah.
Right, that's my whole thing.
In the middle of the night, I hear it pouring down rain outside. I'm like, when will this end?
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to end, is it? And then I'm cussing in my sleep, and I'm pretty well asleep.
And when you knock over a glass of liquid, you're right. Does not matter the liquid. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't matter. Although the volume with which you're dropping F-bomb, if it's water, it's just F. If your kid's drinking like red Kool-Aid, that's a much louder. Well, my dog, we went out wherever the hell we went. I don't know. We came home. We'd just gotten a little plastic jar of hot honey. And the dog determined that she really liked hot honey. So I'm already annoyed that she got into it, tore it open, blah, blah, blah. But, of course, she had to consume it on the couch. And that's a F. Like, I don't even care that you have the honey, but there's honey on the couch, man. What are you doing?
Last week, I was at the grocery store. I bought myself a really nice-looking New York strip steak.
All right.
It was thick. Had a little marbling to it. Like Oregon grass-fed, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going to treat myself to a steak. I cut into that damn thing, and I mean, it was just as gray and as well done as could be. And I'm just like, mother. I don't want to eat this. So I ate kind of like the crispy burnt ends around the edges and left them at the middle and threw it away.
When you see a woman with a fine ass. Yes.
Yep.
That, man. And, and you do it by accident. You know, we'll be outside smoking. Some chick walks by. It's like, God damn. Like, my bad. Mm-hmm. I really did not mean to yell that. Yeah, I just, oops. Sorry. Hello, Andy. Welcome to the men's room.
Wow. Hola, bitches.
Wow.
Hola. All right, Andy, this is going to be a deep one, but we're going to give it to you. As far as your legacy in life, and, whether it's you being a family member of, your spouse or your children or whatever it is, your job, when you pass on in this life, what do you hope that you will be remembered for?
Old.
I mean, look, man, you might have been the guy who had the coolest muscle cars. You might have been the guy that would come over and help with any chore, that would help fix something for somebody.
You also might be the guy that watered your lawn naked. I mean,
whatever it is, like, you know what, man, he always was cool with his truck if we were moving or whatever.
I'm kind of like you, Miles. I would love people to remember me for my golf game.
Okay, all right.
I'm not the best. I'm only a 13 handicap, but
that's great.
Yeah, but
okay.
I mean, just off the top of my head, that's what I can come up with.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
What would be a cooler honor for you then? Would it be that they named a golf course after you, or that they named like a different driver after you?
A tournament like Miles had.
Yeah, the Miles McGovern Golf Classic. Yes. It's going to be
reach for the stars, brother.
Hell of a legacy. What? How many holes in one have you had?
I've never had a hole in one.
Well, it's coming your way.
I've only had 2 eagles and 1 double eagle.
All right, I've never had that.
Albatross.
You had an albatross. That is.
What is an albatross?
That is a 2 in a par 5, which is almost harder to get than a hole in one.
Yeah,
a 2 on a par 5.
You legitimately need to hit 2 just.
We got very lucky. Just happened to hit the green at the right exact point, and the ball just rolled in, and it was awesome too because my buddy was up there on the green and actually seen it roll in, and he exploded with excitement.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay, all right.
I thought he was taking it.
Well, that's not that's not a bad one to be remembered for. I don't know. It's a hard question to think about that. You know, as far as when you're not here, just like anything else, you meet somebody new for the first time. They have a different impression of you and have a different take on you than what you think you presented.
So, yeah, you always find that out.
Everybody, I mean, whether good or bad, I mean, just you.
I think it changes once you have kids, right? Because at that point, I go, if I have a good legacy with the kids, and I do not care about anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no guarantees that I even have a good legacy with the kids. But I hope it's that.
Yeah.
What's also,
maybe
I mean,
not.
You could be, I don't know, you could work your whole career or whatever to be remembered for something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not always how people remember you.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right?
so you
might have exceed and been great at all this stuff, but if you're kind of a-hole in person, like that's what people are going to remember.
Bill Cosby's a great comedian. Not going to be what he's remembered.
O.J. Simpson was a great running
back.
The guy that you said that just absolutely handled that cake with his hands. No matter what, he will be remembered by somebody for doing that. That'll be his legacy as far as that relationship.
That person's kind of an idiot. They got a lot of stuff people remember him for.
Well, but that in particular, like if he did that at my house, be like, oh, that's the jackass that took his hand.
That's the guy who
sleepwalking and drunk. I just grabbed the cake and just Reason we asked, what will you be remembered for? George Foreman.
I would also say, honestly, I just went through this with a family member for a funeral. Also depends on where people know you in life.
Yeah, that's a real
I met a lot of people that knew my cousin through her teaching. Right? But then there was also probably 50 or 60 people that I knew because we were all roughly the same age from her playing softball. But she was so good at it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. George Foreman passed away over the weekend. The heavyweight who lost the Rumble in the jungle to Muhammad Ali. Before inspiring second act as a 45-year-old champion. He came back and did that. And a successful businessman. He died on Friday night. He was 76 years old. If you know anything about George Foreman, outside of his professional boxing career, you know he's got 12 or so many kids, and most of them are named George.
Correct.
So that's another legacy that he leaves behind. But I think that George Foreman will be remembered more than anything for the George Foreman grill.
No doubt.
The cooking machine, which sold more than 100 million units and made him much wealthier than his sport ever did. And I want to say that he was one of those guys where he was not the first choice for this.
He was not.
Somebody else passed
Hulk Hogan.
Was it Hulk Hogan? Mm-hmm. He passed up on that deal, which would have made him, wealthier than he already is. He left the sport of boxing for a few years, returned after a 10-year absence and a self-described religious awakening. He then pulled off one of the most spectacular knockouts in boxing history in 1994 with Michael Moore.
Whose legacy will be that you were the guy that George Foreman knocked out when he was too old to have any business knocking you out.
Yep. He grew up in Marshall, Texas. He won a gold medal as a heavyweight in the 1968 Mexico City Olympics. Typically, that's enough as far as a legacy goes. You won a gold medal at the Olympics, but I'm telling you, I really think that he will go down as the guy with his name on that grill.
He will. I mean, that's how my kids know who he is. And then it's one of those things I explain, he used to be a boxer. They know who Muhammad Ali is because he's Muhammad Ali. Then I explain the Rumble in the Jungle, and they're like, yeah, that's cool. Let's get back to the grill. But another legacy like that, when John Madden died,
sure,
right? So there's a bunch of us that knew him as a coach. Some people knew him as a player. If you're that old, my kid, he came up to me and he goes, "Did you know that John Madden was a human being?" I said, "Yes, I did know that." My kid only knows the Madden game. And the Madden game is super important to him and all of his buddies. But, like, all the kids his age were like, "He was a person?" I'll go, "Yeah, man, he just gave the company naming rights, and they kept making a good game. He kept his name there, made an ton of money."
Well, think about how long it's like.
That's his legacy.
You're used to it now. And sometimes you'll see a guy be an announcer or like a color commentator, and you're like, yeah, I remember that guy. He was like a backup in the NFL. But people forget, like, Lee Corso didn't just start out putting mascot heads on. He was a good college football
Bob
player.
Uecker was a great catcher.
Right. Dickie V. Yeah. Right? Like, he is known as the voice of college basketball. Good to see Dickie V healthy again. But same thing. He actually coached in college. Yeah. Took teams to the tournament.
And if you ask Lou Gehrig, while he was alive, hey, there's a disease that's going to kill you.
That's your legacy.
And they're going to name it after you.
He'd be your legacy is going to
Well, he had another one, then Ripken screwed it up.
That's true.
Well, yeah.
Double whammy.
Yeah, he had the record forever, and then
now he's just a disease.
Now he's just a disease guy.
More of the Random Question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
The Women's Hoop Show, a podcast hosted by me, Jordan Robinson, brings you fresh women's basketball voices and breakdowns every week. I'll be joined by hoop experts all year long. Find the Women's Hoop Show on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK from the Pinky's Plumbing Studio. You're in the men's room.
Your guess is as good as mine. Cut up our categories. Today we have America's favorite backyard games.
All right.
And America's favorite hot sauce. Or the 10 most popular brands, anyway.
They tend to go hand in hand.
Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine. Cut up at 4:30 right after emails on our random question, 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Harrison. Welcome to the men's room.
Random.
Hola.
Harrison, welcome to the show. And a random question. All right. Harrison, let's go with this one. What would you say in your home you hate cleaning the most? What is the one thing you're like, I don't want to do this, but I got to?
I'd probably say the toilet, just because we have a 7-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy, so they are not the cleanest.
So are you constantly picking up, or is it more just like the constant laundry and feeding and how much those kids always eat?
The toilet. They just are messy in the bathroom.
That's about that age, man.
How bad is it when you lift the seat and look what's on the bottom of that?
It's not even that. It's them not taking claim for getting piddle on the toilet seat.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, look.
The toilet.
I can't remember the exact ages, but from 5 until maybe 8 years old or 9, it's not that I didn't try, but I don't know that I wasn't guilty of staining underwear. It's seemingly a lot.
I got to give my son credit, man. He's pretty good at it, and I'm sure moms do it too.
Not my proudest moment.
But as a dad, especially, your kid's gotten potty trained. Like I said, just because they're potty trained does not mean they're still excellent at it. But he'd go in there and take a leak, and you listen for the like, God damn it, that's on the toilet seat, and back to. So I tell him, like, hey, man, I can hear you pee. He's like, yeah, so? I'm like, but I can tell when it hits water. When it hits water, right, there's a certain sound, and there's like 3 weird breaks
in between.
And you're not hitting the side of the bowl because that's a definitive sound, too. This is top of the seat hit.
Yeah.
I know, and look, to his credit, he'd clean up after himself and all that, but I'm like, man, just try to get it, like, into the water. Now, pro.
Right.
Complete pro.
Now, as far as stuff that you enjoy doing at home, even if it's going to take a lot of time, like Castle came in this morning. First thing he did was show us a picture of all the mulch and the pile of mulch that he spread around his yard. Yard looked fantastic. And I'm like, how long did you just stand there looking at it? And he's like, oh, yeah, man, that's part of it. I mean, you're out there
the
for
self-satisfaction, man.
You look at what you've done, and, there's certain things, I don't know why, that I find to be rewarding, even though they take time and effort. Like the garage. How often do you spend in your garage? Me, never. I pull my car into the little garage I've got, and I pull my car out. But when I sweep out my garage, and I clean up everything, and I get it to where, like, things are organized, I just stand in my garage like, it's a good looking garage you got, man.
Yeah.
It looks much better now. I got more room to pull in.
I think yours is a little different, too, is you actually park in it.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people that the garage is like the shop. It's this, it's that. It's a lot of things.
My garage has everything except a vehicle in it.
Correct. I feel like if you have a garage like that, you're more often to spend more time and probably straighten it up a little bit more.
We got to straighten it up
in it.
once summer hits. My wife and I, we just work outside all the time. It's an excuse to be outdoors. I'm being somewhat productive. The kids leave you alone because my rule is if you're going to stand there, you're going to help. And they basically just poof, smoke bomb. They're gone, man. So, yeah, at the end of the day, we'll spend a lot of time just looking at the yard like, all right, that's good. But because we're in the garage so much more, there's always this massive bloodletting. You call it 1-800-JUNK. You get rid of all this crap, right? Still don't pull the vehicle in there.
No.
You just have more room to put more stuff. But then I realized as I go through, there's like 47 balls for any possible sport you could want to play. There's the skateboards, there's the bikes, there's the scooters. I'm like, this girl, one half of it is garden stuff, right? There's a lawnmower, hedge trimmers, and all that. The other half is like for the kids to have fun. That's it.
I can spend an hour cleaning my bathroom, and it's spotless. It's spotless.
But you don't stare at it.
I don't care.
Yeah, you're just
I don't
like,
stare at it.
nah.
I'm like, it's a clean bathroom.
Yeah.
But if I clean the inside of my refrigerator out,
oh yeah,
and wipe down all the shelves,
I'm gonna stand there with the door open.
I just look at it like, look at that refrigerator. I can see what I've got now.
Yep.
Not that I couldn't before. I'm just like,
I stared at my bathroom a few weeks ago because, there's like 6 lights, right?
Yeah.
Above the mirror. And like over time, 3 of them had gone out. So finally one day I was like, geez, I just need to replace them all.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time like somebody would come over, I'd be like, look at the bathroom. Brighter, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what?
Your lights work.
Yeah, I'm like, 6 lights are in there.
That's right. No,
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it was annoying anybody but me. It was just one of those things, like, you notice it.
I feel like I only stare at my bathroom if it's gross. And then I'm in the doorway for 10 minutes, like, what is that? What have the kids done there? Why is that over there? What is that on the wall? But you're right, after you clean it, like, I don't want to be in here anymore.
Yeah, and some of the grossest things in the world. Like, I mean, especially with kids, daughters and stuff, my guest bathroom, which I never use, it's in their room. I've got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath place. And so I can't remember who was, I think it was like my dad came into town or my uncle or whatever. Anyway, Miles, yeah, your bathtub's clogged. Like, my bathtub is clogged in there? Yeah, just the shower, So I go in there and I open up the damn thing, and I cannot tell you the satisfaction I got, just like at our old place on the First Hill, pulling out these giant black globs of woman hair that are like 8, 9, 10 inches long. And then all of a sudden, man, I got the mother rat.
Right.
Like I had, like little pliers, little pinch, whatever the hell, the needle nose pliers. Grabbed a hold of this thing, and now I got 2 hands on it. And the size of that thing was so big, typically I'll just put that stuff in the toilet and flush it. I felt that I would clog the toilet. But the satisfaction I felt hearing that thing like go and pop out, and then the water flow through, I'm like, yeah, got that, mother.
What exactly happens to human hair when it goes into the dryer?
It turns black and gets slimy.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, I know that this was hair to begin with, but when you pull it out, like, this is not hair anymore. I don't know what this is, but there's nothing about this that is appealing to anyone. Like, it skeeves me the hell out, man.
Yeah. Which also brings to mind another conversation we were having earlier on the program about times when you immediately cuss. Mm-hmm. Subconsciously, in your sleep, it's trash day. You forgot to take the trash out, and you hear the garbage truck pulling up the...
Oh, F!
Yeah, and I mean, nothing could get you out of bed.
You're not kidding.
Faster than that.
You can say the house is on fire.
Fully dressed in 15 seconds.
Yeah, you can say the house is on fire. My first go, I'd be like, well, what room is it in? I'm getting out of bed. But right, you hear that trash truck, man. Like, you have gotten dressed before you leave your bedroom. It's almost like Batman on the TV show. You have like your, oh my God, I forgot it's trash day pull. You slide down this bitch, you're completely clothed, running down the driveway, got your trash cans. And then it's also the mad dash. Let me check every trash can in the house.
That's right.
I think it's also has to do with time of year. Like, if I miss trash day in the wintertime, all right. But once it got hot growing up in Maryland, like, if that trash was
because it got hot.
Because it got picked up twice a week. So if you left it in there and you got a family of 5, it's only getting emptied once a week. That thing, I mean, you got bugs, you got everything else. If it's only once a week, it just reeked. And, like, I don't know why. I feel like even the animals, like, that would mess with your trash if you pile it up.
Oh, then take advantage.
In the wintertime, it's like they're just not out as much.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we don't want your cold-ass trash, dude. Wait until summer.
And I'm at that point in time Saturday. It was this crazy thing. This light shone through my window in the living room. And I could see for the fact that I definitely needed to vacuum the floor. Because I could see all the dust that I couldn't see before. And I'm looking at the windows. So I attempt to clean this one window. And I clean this one window, and it's squeaking, and it's looking all good, And I go to do something else, and I was going to do the next window, and I look up, and it looked like I made it worse. I don't know what it
every
is.
streak,
I don't know what it is about me and Windows. I am just absolutely horrible at it. I cannot get them to.
My father uses newsprint, man. Not even newsprint, but like
it used to be a thing back in the day with vinegar and water and newspaper.
But like the windows are spotless, and that's what he uses. Does your vacuum have a light on the front?
I don't believe it does.
I did not. You would know if it does. Look, I'm always the guy that vacuums. I will vacuum. It is fine. We got a new vacuum out like 2 years ago, whatever it was, and it had a light on front, which I didn't care. But I flipped the thing on, and I'm like, we live in a house of filth.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is, your house probably is not that much different day to day, just based on how you live. But, man, when the light pops on your vacuum, I'm like, oh, my God, this is gross.
Yeah, mine's got the laser on the front of it, so that highlights even more so, and you just see all the nasty garbage.
It's got a laser light on it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a hardwood vacuum, so it kind of sweeps there, and it's
amazing. And you realize everywhere your cats and dogs have been, right? Like apparently everywhere.
They don't even have to be there. Their hair and dander just floats right everywhere.
Yep. There's an Instagram account, Weekly Home Check, and basically what they do is they walk people through checking their homes to make sure that they are properly maintained. And they say that these things are the things that people forget the most to clean, according to cleaning experts. So you should be cleaning this, but you probably never do. So for an example, you've got an air conditioning unit. Maybe you've got splits or whatever. How often should your air filter be either cleaned or replaced?
Every quarter.
That's exactly right.
Oh, really?
Oh, he said that with confidence.
Yeah. 3 to 4 months, somewhere in there.
Okay, we do it, I think, once every 6 months.
Especially, Ted, if you suffer from allergies. So you probably have a small closet somewhere in your apartment that's got a unit in it, and that's got an air filter in it, big old square air filter. So if you replace that, it's going to help you with your allergies.
Yeah. Because they're saying the crap in your house is even worse.
Do you have one of those like utility closets that's got the HVAC or whatever's in there, like a big box?
I mean, I don't have an HVAC because I just have little heaters on the ground.
Yeah. Okay, you might not have that then.
Yeah.
By the way, Miles, a bunch of people here are saying to clean your windows, use coffee filters.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, streakless.
I'll be damned.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. All right. I do remember that once every month or so when we were in school, my school was old enough where it was a slate blackboard.
Yeah.
And we used vinegar and water to clean them like once every month. That was at the end of the day. We always had to clean the blackboards off. But one time a month we had to use that, and I mean it was spotless. But then you couldn't use the
write
for like days at a time until it broke in. Fridge coils. I've never done this. They're located in the back of your fridge. This involves a little heavy lifting, not really just pulling your fridge out. But they recommend vacuuming them once every 6 months. A lot of the time, we're afraid to see what's behind our fridge. It's amazing what you can find under your fridge and under your stove when you pull them out.
How does it get behind the fridge?
I have no idea.
It doesn't make sense. Like some things, yes, I might expect that to be back there. Other times, I'm like, how is this behind our refrigerator?
Correct. I rented my place out for a while, probably 3 or 4 years, to a family doctor and his wife and kids. And when I moved back into the place, after they'd moved out, I started doing my cleaning around and pulled out the oven. And there were 3 children's books from the Fremont Public Library that had been knocked underneath the oven. So I walked into and it had been 4 years since these books were checked out. Because they still have those dates in them, So I took them into the library, and the woman's like, "These are 4 years overdue." And I'm like,
I did not check them out.
I understand that. I said, I just found them from the renters that were under the oven. She said, well, thank you so much for bringing. She's like, I was like, don't. Look, I dropped something under there.
Yeah.
I went in there I literally, whatever it was, I dropped something under there and it flew right under there. So it wasn't that I was cleaning. I just had to pull the oven out to get whatever the hell I dropped to get in there. Like, what is this?
3 books.
3 children's books.
Again, how does this end up here?
Well, what I'm saying is it's amazing they didn't catch on fire because it was hot as hell.
Yeah.
I think it's also amazing that she was like, these are 4 years old. You should just looked at her and been like, yeah, I'm in my 50s. You think I still have children that small? Yeah, obviously they got launched or they got left under there by mistake.
I'm giving them back.
Did they charge you still?
They did not. I don't have a library card there. So I mean, like, what are they going to do to me?
You're lucky you ended up jail, dude.
If I find an overdue book, say it's 5 years overdue, it's just sitting in my house. None of us checked it out because we don't have a library card. I bring it in. They want to charge me. You're telling me they can't charge me because technically I never checked this out.
Well, they're not going to charge me. I know one was a Catacott Medal winner. I mean, they all had the covers.
Right.
They're nice children's books. I'm like, I'm going to take these back. But I guess the kid was just like, I can make the books disappear.
Watch.
Under the oven. Range hood filters. I'm not sure if I have ever changed and or cleaned one of these.
I've gotten a little anal about that, and that's just from working in restaurants.
Is it?
Where we did it enough. So I have a downdraft on mine.
Okay.
We don't have a hood above. We have the downdraft, which, by the way, if you're looking for a downdraft, have fun with that. But I do clean it every once in a while. But also it's easier to clean because I'm looking down into it instead of looking up into it.
Okay. How about dishwashers? How often should you clean your dishwasher?
Once.
There's a filter in there. So back to the filter lifestyle.
Once a month.
How often do you think you use your dishwasher, though?
Once a week.
Oh, God, probably 5-6 times a week. But that's just with the kids and the kids' friends coming over.
Yeah, we're probably 2, maybe 3 times a week.
Trust me, my wife and
I only run mine 3 times a month. But generally, I'm only cooking for one.
Mm-hmm. That's the difference.
So you just got to clean the pan you use.
Correct. Yeah, my wife and I, we just had this conversation over the weekend. She goes, man, does it seem like we use the dishwasher all the time? I said, yeah, and just quietly pointed out to the living room where the kids are. I'm like, because they still have it in their head that even if I'm getting a second glass of water, God forbid I use the same glass.
Oh, I know.
Right? It's like, dude, just use the same. But they don't.
Dishwashers have a filter in them. Should be cleaned every 3 months, depending on usage. As food can get stuck in the filter areas, which can impact the ability to clean and its ability to dry. And apparently they pop out pretty easily. So all you need to do is clean those. Drains. Lane flushes for drains with vinegar and baking soda are supposed to be done 1 to 3 months to prevent clogs.
I actually do pretty well on that. And I don't know if it's a result of my daughter having been there at the time in restaurants or both, but I do get kind of anal about the drains. That's where I realized I've become my father, because I'm sure the kids look at me the way I looked at my father, like, the drain. You know, because my kids always like, we don't dump anything we want down the drain. Why are you so worried about the drain? People pee down drains, they dump crap down drains, everything you don't want goes down the drain. Why do you care? And I realized, like, you know what? Because I do. And let's just keep it clean, God damn it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
yeah, you got to pull that out.
You know, I mean, it's how
they drop off?
They drop off.
All right. I'll give you guys one. Okay. What is the worst thing that you have done on a dare or a bet for money? One of the sickest things I've ever seen in my life is when you're able to smoke in bars.
Yeah.
This ashtray was completely full. And my buddy Brett, he had to touch tongue to the bottom of it. So he had to touch tongue all the way down all the butts. And he had to lick all the way across the bottom of the ashtray. And I think that was only for $5.
I've seen somebody drink like a whole big container of dip spit for $100.
God,
$100.
No.
But I mean, the guy was like 18.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's the age where that kind of money, you're willing to do stuff like that.
The worst thing I've done, actually, Ted, was when we bet West Virginia, Maryland 20 years ago, and I shaved my ass, not realizing that since I'd never shaved my ass before because I lost the bet, just how much, days would go by and I'd have, these hair bumps. So I'd have ingrown hairs all over my ass, and I could never sit down and be comfortable because these hairs had never been shaved before. So a lot of them were just getting stuck underneath the skin as they were taking them out. So I've got all these just bumps.
I remember you bitching about it every day, probably 2.5 to 3
That was
weeks.
a good year, though. So we beat West Virginia in football in the regular season, then again in that bowl game.
I think that was
and
the
Miles had a
stupidest
clean
thing.
ass.
Yeah, I think that was the dumbest thing I've ever done as far as not realizing the pain involved afterward. I'll reason we asked, what's the worst thing you've done for a dare or a bet? A young man in Russia was hospitalized and treated for kidney failure after doing 2,000 squats to win a bet with a friend. Doctors reported the unusual case. The guy's in his early 20s. He was hospitalized with severely reduced kidney function as a result of physical overextension. Damn. Patients told doctors that his trouble began after winning a bet with a friend who challenged him to do 2,000 squats in a set period of time. Confident in his physical abilities, he accepted. But after completing the challenge, he began experiencing some troubling symptoms. His legs, which had never failed him before, became sore and extremely swollen. His urine turned dark brown, and before long, he couldn't pee at all. Scared, he sought medical help and was diagnosed with rhabdomyolysis.
Good job, Miles.
Rhabdomyolysis. Ulysses.
Just how you want your doctor to say it.
Potentially deadly medical condition that causes muscle tissue to break down and enter the bloodstream. If left untreated, it can result in kidney failure, cardiac problems, even death. In this particular case, the man's leg muscle began to break down as a result of extreme physical effort, which caused a steep increase in levels of creatine and urea, which a comprehensive examination revealed that his kidneys were only functioning at that point in time at 50% capacity after doing the 2,000 squats. Luckily, and because of his youth, doctors managed to cure the acute renal failure without dialysis, but the damage caused by this to his kidneys will need time to heal. His kidney function is still reduced. He's going to have to undergo rehab because he did 2,000 squats.
Damn.
It could take 3 months to a year before he's normal again. Strength, they say, lies not only in physical achievements, but also in the ability to take care of your body. Doing something like that can have disastrous consequences when one goes beyond reasonable limits.
But he won his bet.
But he did win the bet.
Hey, won the bet.
Probably not worth all the trouble. All right, still to come, your guess is as good as mine. Our categories today, we have the best backyard games and hot sauces. And we have your emails coming up next in the men's room at KISW.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at Fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
If you love your phone, but not your carrier, just switch to T-Mobile. You can keep your phone, keep your number, and we'll help pay it off up to $800 per line. You can also use our savings calculator to compare our plans and streaming benefits against Verizon and AT&T. So, switch and keep your phone, keep your number, and keep more of your moolah at T-Mobile.com.
Up to 4 lines via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service port in 90-plus days with device and eligible carrier and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months.
Are you a bartender that dreads the phrase, hey, can you put the game on? At Sports on What, we understand your pain and we're here to help. Over-the-air, satellite, cable, or streaming, Sports on What knows what channel the game is on, and you can too. Follow your favorite teams, set alerts, and filter by provider to get the results you need. Stop wasting time searching and never miss kickoff again. Just download the Sports on What app, and you'll always know how to watch the game. Available for Android and iOS. Start your 7-day free trial when you download Sports on What and subscribe today.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Your guess is as good as mine. Cut of our categories. We have a backyard games and hot sauce. That's on the way at 4:30. But first, time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Jump into the birthdays, gentlemen. I want to give a shout out to my brother Justin for his 32nd trip around the sun. He's the one that got me into the show years ago. But I'm the only one who's called and emailed the show. So let's give him a dealer's choice of sound bites. Mike, the captain, talking about the 32-teethed fish and some dad jokes for Miles. Thanks, guys. That from Brandon.
Green bean.
What?
Green bean.
Okay.
Green bean.
A script is a story. It's not a storybook.
Hashtag good advice.
Ooh, well, ahoy there, and happy birthday, the old 32-tooth fish. Well, that could be the small-toothed sawfish or the Goliath tigerfish. I will say this. They're not really fans of us mascots, as both of them were failed mascots. Turns out their breakfast cereals, tigerfishos and sawfishos, didn't go over well with the kids. But to their credit, they both make gentle lovers. Just don't do anything oral. Crunch bears.
All right, Justin.
Gentle lovers.
Here's some dad jokes. What is a kidnapper's favorite shoe? What is a kidnapper's favorite shoe?
Sneakers.
White Vans. I don't know if I told you guys I'm having Himalayan rabbit stew for dinner tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I found him Himalayan on the road. Probably don't need to know this, but meatloaf is my safe word.
Oh, yeah?
I'll do anything for love, but I'm not going to do that.
All right, that makes sense.
What do you call an artist who paints Mongolian leaders? An artist who paints Mongolian leaders.
What?
A con artist.
Okay.
Wow.
Deep reference.
Ted, what do Liberace and Elton John have in common?
They're both gay.
No, they both play piano.
Damn it.
And Mike, did you know there are 27 bones in the human hand?
Are there, Miles?
28 if I'm bored. Yeah. Oliver Joel's hoping to get this in time to wish my boy RJ a happy 36th birthday. Could you give him a big old bong rip with some thrill shotgun gets and whatever Mike wants to play. Thanks, fellas, and can't wait to see you again at the World Tour. That from JC. Get.
Are you me?
Get.
You like that? You like that? Chestnut!
Not God or my father or my boss.
Get. Wonder what happened to the bagel guy, the angry bagel. We haven't heard
Shut
from him.
your mouth.
Yeah, whatever happened to him? Where'd he go?
Wow.
I mean, surely he's done this since then, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you think he's learned his lesson? Or
No.
He absolutely.
He just doesn't seem to have that kind of attitude where you're like, yeah, that probably wasn't good. All the guys, today's my hubby Carrie's 64th birthday. Could you please give him a fish sandwich montage? And your penis is too small. From his loving wife, Lisa. Thank you, guys. Love your show. You guys are great. And rock on.
Can I get
A filet of fish sandwich.
So you know I got
I'll have a
it right.
fish sandwich.
Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich?
Do I get a fish sandwich?
Put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
Or a fish sandwich.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. I smell the fish sandwich. Maybe some dinner relish in the morning. At noon. And at night.
Can I buy you a fish sandwich?
I don't think
you
things,
don't want a fish sandwich?
I don't think things have gone well for angry bagel guy.
What's that?
But I could tell the year after he had that meltdown, he had another meltdown and don't laugh. Don't laugh.
A big and tall story.
No, he had a don't laugh.
All right.
He had a stroke outside of a deli.
Probably from getting too worked up.
I would think so.
Yeah. All right, guys, here you go. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
It was just a little episode, Ted.
Oh, damn.
I'm just thinking, of course he was outside of a deli, so I'm with you. That's my first thought. It's like, did he get crazy again?
More than likely. Time to get a contestant on the line for your guess is as good as mine now, 206-803-ROCK. In the meantime, we'll get a contestant, a couple extra emails. Question for the Ted Smith on Formula One LVGP 2025. Hello, Ted. I'm an F1 fan, and my dad and I will be going to our very first GP Grand Prix in Las Vegas this year. Now, when you went last year, did you have seats? If so, do you think they're worth the price, or could I get a good glimpse of the action with general admission? Also, will you be going this year? Finally, any other advice for Formula One newbies like me? I'm very familiar with Vegas, just not Las Vegas in the Grand Prix experience. Thanks, that from your loyal fan of the men's room, Michael.
Yeah, I've been emailing him all day. So here's the deal. Like, it is super expensive. We bought seats in the East Harmon zone, but that's like a catered whatever.
All right.
To this day, I haven't told anybody besides the guys. I went with what we spent. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. There's other areas where you can get seats, but remember, you're also paying for 3 practices and qualifying and the race.
With the seat.
With the seat. So I would expect you're the cheapest seat, you're still probably going to pay $700-800.
Okay, that's not as bad as what I thought you were going to say.
But, right. You're not going to be in like those catered zones and stuff.
Right.
The weirdest thing to me, if you're ever going to watch F1 in person, though, like I want to go to COTA down in Austin because it's a track and it's a little bit easier to see it.
All right.
But it's just weird because you watch a race by your section.
Then you spend a bulk of it looking up at giant screens to see what they're doing on the other part.
On the other side.
These tracks are miles long.
That's any race, I would guess. Even NASCAR. I mean, when you go to NASCAR, you might be able to see everything. Maybe you're at a smaller track like Martinsville or something, but you don't really know who's in the lead. You kind of do, but it's kind of
right. But you can at least see them.
Right.
Like F1, it's just odd because like we were right by turn 1, so it was dope. We could see the pits, but when they're gone for the other mile and a half of that track, you're just listening and watching.
How loud are those cars when they come by?
They're loud. They're not as loud. They used to be much louder.
Yeah.
They're loud, but nothing compared to monster trucks.
Really?
You could go to F1. Like I had earbuds with me.
Yeah.
You can get away with not wearing them. If you're going to go see monster trucks and you don't have earbuds, you're going to have ear damage.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Monster trucks are that loud. It is awesome, though.
even during the Quad Wars.
It's unbelievable, dude. You got to have ear protection.
Team California versus Team Washington, Quad Wars. California, always the evil team they're trying to beat there.
I like it when they freestyle.
Subject, early memories. From last week, we had a question about what was your earliest good or bad childhood memory?
Right.
Well, guys, when I was 4 back in 76, I took a bath, got out, stood on the toilet to grab a towel, slipped, fell. Grabbing a small plate mirror on the back of the toilet, it shattered and launched 4 shards into my left side, just below my ribs. Around 40 stitches in various locations on my side. Good times. That from Adam in Gold Bar. And one more. Hello, gentlemen. One of the earliest memories comes from the late 1970s. I was 2 and some months old, playing in our living room or wherever. TV was on, and while I was doing whatever a 2-year-old does, I suddenly heard the refrain from ELO's Living Thing coming out of the TV. I look at the TV on hearing this and watch in complete awe as the ELO Rockola logo flashed and then zoomed out to show the cover of their just-released album, A New World Record. At this point, I screamed joyously and pointed, because this was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen and heard in my entire life at that point. A couple weeks later, my dad introduced me to ELO with that very album. And 48 years later, I think the stuff they put out before that album is better. Thanks, guys. That from Dennis. All right, time for a little Your Guess Is As Good As Mine. It's an easy game to play. We get a category, a contestant on the line. You pick from one of 2 categories and then see how many you can get right in said category before 3 strikes and you're out. Steve, who is our contestant ready to play Your Guess Is As Good As Mine?
Well, his name was Carlos, but he has since dropped off.
So it's not
Or our
Carlos.
phones killed him, yeah.
Okay, all right. I guess you guys are going to be playing Your Guess As Good As Mine. All right. So, your categories. By the way, last week, in case you didn't know, and you probably missed it, was National Backyard Day.
Oh, of course it was.
It's good to have that in March.
They came up with the yeah, no kidding.
Right? It's like, wait till like May?
Well, that's
There's a couple of those where I'm like, really? You gonna do it now? Okay.
Is it whether you're barbecuing this weekend or just hanging out? What's your go-to game you like to play in the backyard? So they have the 10 best backyard games of all time based on fun, accessibility, and overall popularity. Then we have America's preferences for hot sauce. And it really is quite regional. A lot of these are very similar, but depending on where you live, what your standard buy is changes from state to state and area of the country to area of the country, depending on who lives there and what they're cooking. So do you guys want to go hot sauce or backyard games?
Let's say backyard games.
Yes.
I mean,
Backyard
Ted's
games?
standing there. I'm just like, look, that's you got to do this, right?
Okay. Again,
Are these older and newer?
yes, exactly right. Some have lost popularity over the years. Some have been permanently banned, but at one point in time,
I know that one.
they were fun and people enjoyed playing them.
All right, we got to go with cornhole.
Yeah.
You want to go with cornhole? That is the number 1. It is the go-to backyard game now. Now, for those of you not in the know, Cincinnati, Ohio gets credit for coming up with a modern version in the 1960s, but someone also patented a similar game with square holes way back in 1883. So it's been around for a while, but the game you know now and play in the backyard, that's been around since the 60s. And again, that was invented in Cincinnati, Ohio, where I believe, wasn't it Carson Palmer back in the day?
He used to have like a cornhole tournament.
Yeah.
He was the one that's how I kind of found out about cornhole. Was like,
And everyone kind of chuckled about it.
because the name is cornhole.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, then you could play washers too, which is close to cornhole.
Yeah.
okay. Cornhole's number 1 on the best backyard games of all time.
Lawn darts.
Lawn darts. Although they have been banned, they are number 9 on the list. Bonus points to the original version for being lethal. They do have modern versions, which are safer and still fun. So your land darts and circles to score points is the way you play, but they have reintroduced them, just not the ones that are going to land on top of your head
If there's
and puncture your skull.
old games on here as well, Before we played cornhole, we always played horseshoes.
Yep.
Horseshoes. That is a great backyard game. Horseshoes is number 6.
Nice.
It's harder for the little kids to play than cornhole, and you have to add permanent sand pits to do it right. But you would think that there would be more injuries in horseshoes than almost in lawn darts, just on sometimes how they bounce, spin, hit the ground.
And it's
roll.
adults and they drink a lot.
Yeah, but I've never seen anyone be injured playing horseshoes.
Oh, I have. My Uncle Timmy, he always had horseshoes in the backyard. Some of those would bounce off and hit a kid.
There is a bar.
Like in the shin or something.
There's a bar down by the water.
In Essex or
where your sister lives, it has horseshoe pits. Still to this day. I think
You could throw shoes at the Yellow Beak.
Oh, you can?
Oh, yeah. Yes,
that makes sense.
I've done it.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I've also seen a drunk guy throw it on top of the shed. A little covering.
That happens from time to time.
Yeah.
Cornhole number 1 and horseshoes number 6. There are 8 remaining. You have 0 strikes against you.
What about ladder golf?
That's what I was going to ask. That's the rope, or the 2 balls on the rope kind of thing. All right. I was trying to think of the name of that, but I'm like, all right.
Ladder golf.
A rope ladder. It's
like a rope with 2 fake golf balls on each side. You gotta. There's 3 rings or 3 bars to try to get it on.
A 3-rung ladder.
Okay, let me ask you this. This thing has gotten pretty popular in the last 20 years. A mailman in Pennsylvania sold the idea in 2005. Then a company called Ladder Golf started selling the sets. Is that the same game?
That's got to be the same game.
So ladder toss is correct then at number 8.
Yeah,
all right.
that's the one.
I guess it's a brand name now.
Growing up, we were always playing things like bocce ball in the backyard.
Wiffle ball,
croquet.
Oh,
yeah.
Backyard volleyball.
Castle has a croquet set.
Oh, does he?
Well,
He's got a big-ass backyard.
Hell
so
yeah.
it's stupid, but you go there and start drinking beer and play. It's amazing how quickly you get competitive in something as stupid as croquet.
Oh, yeah.
St. Mary's College in Annapolis, if you drove by at certain times of the year, they're always out in the front there playing croquet.
Oh, yeah.
They were all dressed up in all their white.
We hit big old balls.
You want to go with croquet?
Let's do
Yeah, let's go croquet.
Croquet number 10. Not a lot of people play now, but it used to be really popular. The word is French, but originated in England in the mid-1800s. So far correct on croquet at 10, lawn darts at 9, ladder toss at 8, horseshoes at 6, and cornhole at number 1.
Let's put wiffle ball in there.
Yeah, man.
Wiffle ball. You go wiffle ball? Number 3, a guy in Connecticut made backyard baseball possible when he came up with it in 1953 to prevent...
broken windows.
That is correct, Mike. Broken windows.
I will advise kids, get official wiffle balls with the holes in them.
Yes.
Cheap knockoff ones still break windows.
Oh, those solid plastic ones?
Yeah. Oh, I'll go through a window for sure.
Yeah, with the big orange bat and the big fat one.
You know, somebody that works here is a very good wiffle ball player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One that's not on here, I'm going to give it to you so you guys don't guess it, which I can't believe is not on here, which is a backyard staple, 4th of July, everything else, was volleyball or badminton. Those are not.
All right, badminton
might be on the list, but volleyball's not.
Damn.
I could go badminton. We have a badminton net, and because, like I said, you're not going to break windows. Doesn't matter how hard you smash it.
Right.
You're not chasing it over the fence all the time.
Do we
and you
rule
only
out,
need 2 people.
Do we rule out tossing a football in the back or doing like catch?
I was going to say, does catch count?
Right.
A version of it does.
All right, so baseball,
like
catch,
playing
or
pickle. You know, when you have the guy in the middle. That's what we used to call it.
I can't call it what we used to call it.
This is something that you played more times in the backyard probably than any other sport in your life. If you had a group of friends around.
Touch football.
Touch football, 2-hand touch, number 4. So far, you're correct with cornhole at number 1. Wiffle ball at 3, 2-hand touch at 4, horseshoes at 6, ladder toss comes in at 8, lawn darts at 9, croquet is at 10th spot. So there are 3 backyard games remaining on the best backyard games of all time.
Badminton.
No, he said badminton's out.
Badminton's on the list.
Badminton's number 7. Okay. Not as popular as it used to be, but still fun. A little annoying to set up and take down the net, but other than that.
We played in the driveway. Hey, man, they have these quick collapsible nets now. My wife and I got one last summer for the kids. You can put it all the way down for, was it like tennis or pickleball? You can put it all the way up for volleyball or badminton, and then there's some middle.
All right.
It's great, man. It's great. It's super lightweight, easy to put together.
All right. The last 2 games involve balls.
Okay. We don't have any strikes, so I'm just going to take it. Bocce ball.
Bocce's number 2.
Good call, Mike.
Good
That's
for multiple
number 2.
people. And you can play it anywhere. You don't need a legit bocce court.
So you said
nice patch of grass. Just open space to play bocce.
The other one needs a ball, you said?
It needs a ball.
That's a shame, because somebody said frisbee on the text line.
Oh,
so I
that's
thought,
not
that's
bad at
strong,
all,
man.
Man, those bocce courts, They've got a couple of them at Green Lake. I don't know if you guys know where they are. They're on the west side of the lake. It's just this amazing flat green square, but the grass.
It's like a golf course, man.
It's more pristine.
Yeah, it is
you
immaculate.
Can't even believe that.
Well, can't be volleyball.
Do we do like a backyard golf? Like they sell the little spongy balls that you're not going to break any windows with, and you can do a little chipping in your backyard. Or
Fun playing catch with the baseball.
Yeah.
Can I just go catch?
I'm gonna
Game
go
of
catch.
catch.
Damn it!
Can you give us a hint? It involves a ball. Does it involve a pole?
At one point in time, our company had a team.
Softball.
Kickball.
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 Yeah, nailed it.
I played on that team.
There you go. These are the best backyard games of all times. Coming in at number 10, croquet, followed by lawn darts at 9, ladder toss at 8, badminton at 7, or badminton. 6 is horseshoes, kickball 5, 2, and touch 4, 3, wiffle ball, bocce 2, cornhole. The number 1 best backyard game of all time. All right, coming up at 5:08, we'll drink a toast with a shot of the day. You are listening to The Men's Room.
I'm Jordan Robinson, host of the new podcast, The Women's Hoop Show. Each episode, I'll be joined by a rotating group of women's basketball experts to talk WNBA, college hoops, the new Unrivaled League, and the shifting landscape of the sport. The game is growing, and so are we. Listen to and follow the Women's Hoop Show and Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, coming up at 5:08, we will drink and toast with a shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check on Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. Segway has recalled 220,000 scooters due to a fall hazard that has injured 20 people already.
Is the fall hazard the people on the Segway?
That would be my guess, to be honest with you, but I have no idea. I don't know what the Segway themselves has flawed that's causing people to fall.
Right.
Like, you know, the only thing I can really think of there is that there's something with the way that it's built that's making a wheel wobble or
something. I don't know.
Something.
I haven't seen those in a long time. They used to have the tours downtown. I've seen those guys doing that before the pandemic.
That was always awesome. Because you always saw someone take a spill.
They had a walking tour, now then they had a Segway tour. So it was like 6, 7 of them rolling down the city.
Well, and they're basically just a hoverboard with a handle, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Well, the ones that they had were like the stand-up kind.
Yeah.
So like the kind that the parking people had. A couple of officers had them downtown.
Yep.
Our joke was always, if you jumped on one of those while they're writing a ticket, could they catch up with you?
Do they go faster than the average person
Right.
runs?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we kind of wanted to steal one to see what would happen.
You got to pick the right cop, right?
Yes. Definitely do a little physique gazing before you decide to do that.
A new study found that children who breastfeed for longer periods of time experience fewer developmental delays.
That's why I do great, man. I was breastfed until I was 17.
Give me some.
Mama. Hook me up.
Get your boobs down here.
Mom, I'm effing hungry.
Oh,
meatloaf!
The meatloaf.
Ma,
I'm hungry.
Oh, no. 41% of Americans...
see him.
he's starting like my mom said, of course I'm not eating.
41% of Americans admit to cheating on their partners while traveling.
Damn, what was the percentage?
41.
I like to do it at home, close by the house.
Yeah, they do.
It's more risky.
Do it in the living room when she's asleep in the bedroom.
Damn it. And again, that's 41 that admit it.
Admit it, right.
Like,
41%.
That's still a high percentage.
Thank you, Miles. That seems awfully high.
So when you travel for work, great.
Yeah, no kidding. The new buzzword making the rounds, boomerasking. Has anybody heard of boomerasking?
Nope. Is that like you're a boomer for asking how that works?
No. So what you're doing is you're going to ask somebody a question as a lead-in to start talking about yourself. And newsflash, it makes you less likable. So basically, I'd say, hey, Ted, how was your weekend? Say it was great,
All right,
Mike.
yeah. Went to the Maryland game. Went to the Maryland baseball game Saturday, then watched a great Maryland win at home yesterday, Mike.
Oh, right on. I celebrated my mother-in-law's birthday, and we had a spectacular birthday for her. You didn't even ask. You don't care.
I guess you're right.
But I ask you to open the door to now we're talking about this, which I want to talk about.
Well, just do it so it's not so subtle. Like, all right, question. What makes me so awesome?
There you go.
Right?
Exactly.
We're already talking about me.
Right.
I think it also depends on if the person, if they fathom what you're saying. That's how I can tell.
Sure.
Right? If I say, you ask me how my weekend is, and I mention stuff, and then you just go off on a tangent that has nothing to do with what I said,
then right.
No relatable. It's like, okay, you just wanted to talk about that.
Correct.
You know?
Correct. You just wanted to say something to somebody.
Or they cut you off. Like, Mike, how was your weekend?
Oh, it was great. We celebrated my mother-in-law's birthday.
Mother-in-laws. Don't get me started.
Yeah, right.
It's like, all right, so you're not asking me yes.
Right. You're just looking for a platform.
Yeah.
Jackass. Here we go again. A new study has found that children with higher screen times are more likely to be high-strung, depressed teens.
But what if they breastfeed longer?
That's developmental, Miles.
Oh, gotcha.
They're fully functioning. They're just depressed and high-stressed.
It's tough.
It is. And I get it. The thing is that the ease of the screen is so prevalent. You know what I mean? It's just, and the kids crave it.
That's the difference.
You expose it to them one time, and it's impossible not to. In our society, it's impossible. Everybody's got a smartphone.
Yeah.
And so they're going to want to see what you got going on. And then as soon as they get that taste of it, that's all that they want. So after a while, it's like, all right, fine, take the damn phone.
I mean, I remember a lot of times as a kid, right? Like just going in the backyard and playing by myself. But if I had a tablet, I'm sure I would have been asking for the tablet.
You bet.
Yeah, of course.
I think it was just easier to be like, no, you can't watch TV right now. Go do something else.
Exactly. Because part of it was back when we were coming up, man. I mean, limited networks, and if someone was at the TV, then they kind of ruled the TV.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you had to go do something else. Now we got 2 computers. Everyone's got a phone. I mean,
exactly. I still remember that. Go outside. It's a beautiful day outside. Get out there. It's like, get your ass out there. It's a beautiful day outside. No. We're going to watch your show. A group of scientists have discovered.
I think it was something, too. I think sometimes, like if you're an adult and you have to do stuff on the weekend, it's like, well, you can go outside and come up with something to play. Like, figure out something.
Yeah.
Like, you're a smart kid. You could entertain yourself because it's like, look, I'd like to be sitting in front of the TV, but I got to do this.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad just brought me along on those ones. Oh, you're home for the weekend? Come on over here, bud.
Yep.
Hold the flashlight.
Get a headlamp.
Should have been the Father's Day gift. Hey, I got this for you.
Man spent top dollar on everything he bought. Couldn't buy himself a damn headlamp for when he needed it.
I mean, my dental hygienist has one.
Right.
I was the gopher. Run downstairs and grab me that hammer.
Yeah. Maybe it comes with hiking or being outdoors more. Like, I don't even think I knew headlamps were a thing until I moved out here.
Yeah,
But you're right. Thinking about sitting there holding flashlights for people, like, why did they not have headlamps?
If you had a headlamp on the East Coast, they called you a criminal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you'd be like, bro, why you got a headlamp, man?
You breaking into something?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be your thought, yeah, for sure.
A group of scientists have discovered that failing relationships aren't as random as they seem and even follow a 2-phase decline that can be measured, tracked, and even predicted with surprising accuracy.
Oh, cool.
Did you do the study on the phases?
I looked at, so you have the pre-terminal phase, which is kind of the slow decline of happiness between the two of them, and then you hit that what they call terminal decline, which is just basically one of the two of you has dropped off. The other one, the first one to drop into the terminal decline, that's the one that's going to break up with somebody.
And the other one doesn't care enough to fight for it.
Right,
Like, yeah.
exactly. The other one will eventually pick up on it. The thing is that it comes down to the most basic thing in a relationship is reading your partner.
Yeah.
And after a while, the one that is clearly about to be broken up with can start sensing like, you're kind of distant. You're not talking much. What's going on over there?
Now we're going to have every conversation's awkward.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
And you know it.
You know. You just ride it out.
Right. It's like, just, I don't know. Yeah. Like, just tell me.
Has everybody in this room broken up with somebody?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's an awful thing. Has anybody broken up with somebody after a first date?
I didn't know that was going on.
You can't break up with somebody after a first date.
I mean, I've chosen not to see them again.
Right, exactly. You're cutting it off. Maybe they had a great time, but this isn't for me.
Yeah, it's always awkward. That's why people hate dating.
Yeah, there is. But luckily, there's a way to not make it awkward.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 non-awkward texts to send to a first date you don't want to see again.
Oh.
As a suave operator, I've had to employ this tool on occasion. For example, hey, it was wonderful finally meeting you in person. So what if you didn't exactly look like your picture? I bet if you put in the work, you could look even better. I've never had to use an EpiPen before. Shellfish, huh? Anyway, no harm, no foul. When you started to have that violent reaction and face planted on the table and spilled the wine carafe all over me, don't worry about it. Never liked that jacket anyway. But I think we both know this wasn't a love connection. I'm just glad the swelling went down enough so you could see to drive home. You take care.
God. Could have been a little simpler than that. Okay, so these are non-awkward texts to send a first date that you just don't want to see again.
All right.
This might get brutal. This one just says, "Hi, I enjoyed meeting up, but I'm moving soon, and I don't see this as a long-term fit. Wish you all the best." Right.
Well, then why were you out there in the first place?
Exactly.
I'm moving.
Straight up lying.
I feel like I'm just lying.
You
to
are.
them.
I'm moving.
It's going to be awkward when they bump into your ass again.
Oh, no, I meant like three doors down, man. I'm just moving.
Oh, not out of state or anything.
Yeah, right. I'm still in the same place. I'm just moving. Thanks for meeting up today, but ultimately, I don't think we have enough in common to be a match. I wish you the best.
That's fair. It's honest.
Yeah. And that's really what
Just direct and to the point. Look.
Exactly.
I like attractive people. You weren't that.
Right. You also know, if that's the way you feel, then obviously you didn't have a connection, and they're probably not attracted to you either.
Correct.
Sometimes it's hard to tell off the first date, too.
Right. And that's kind of where I'm at. I read a handful of these, and they're disingenuous because if you are truly just snapping it off after the first date, you didn't enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
you did not have fun. Mm-hmm. This was clearly not right. I went on one date with a gal one time. I cut the date short. I was like, no, I'm good.
You just know.
Exactly. Like she was not for me, and so I actually pulled out my phone. I just started playing games on it. Whatnot. We were at a ball game.
That's a nice way to say it. She
right.
wasn't for me.
Exactly.
So would you leave the game early?
No, she did.
She left?
She left.
Did she tell you she was leaving?
She was a little bit distant while we were there. Like the chemistry was just not there.
Right.
And so I pulled it out. I think I was playing like Pokemon Go or something like that. She was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And then she just left. It's like, "All right, later then."
Who connected you two?
This one just says, again, these are non-awkward texts to the first date. It says, "Hi, Sam. Thanks again for dinner. I appreciate you reaching out, but I want to be as direct as I can and say I'm just not feeling something here. I think it's best if we part ways. Take care."
That's fair.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Exactly. And I do appreciate the honesty with that.
Sure.
One. You know, again,
Girl, you ugly.
It feels a little early to have made that distinction. However, if you're truly just not feeling it.
If you really feel that, then yeah, definitely say so.
Right. Just straight up say it. "Hi, it was nice meeting you last night. I enjoyed our conversation. I just want to let you know I don't think I see this going forward, but I wish you all the best."
All right.
Then you didn't enjoy our conversation.
That's a good point. If you enjoyed the conversation, typically it's something you want to do again.
Right. There's some sort of intrigue there. There's interest, mystery. "Hey, I know we mentioned meeting up for dinner later this week, but after reflecting a bit, I don't think we're a match. I wish you all the best."
You don't need to say that.
I know.
Jesus.
Like,
hey, I was going to buy you some jewelry, but on second thought, don't know if I like it or not.
I mean,
Come on,
I guess
man.
that's nicer. Again, I just struggle with, like, it's one date.
Mm-hmm.
see this one.
But that's the thing. If you know on the front, typically one date is not going to be the deal breaker. But if it is, you should say something.
10 non-awkward texts to send on a first date that you don't want to see again. This one's just a lie.
My wife was pissed about it, so I got to stop.
"Hey, I had so much fun biking with you or whatever, but I don't think we're a romantic match. I'd love to do something as friends, but totally get if that's not what you're looking for." Like, don't put the onus on them to just knock it all off, man. Come on.
Do things as friends. Like, no.
Right. This was us as friends trying to become something more, man.
Right.
"Hey, I just didn't really feel a spark last night, and I just wanted to be transparent with you, and I think that it's best that we go our separate ways." I actually don't mind that one.
Okay.
Again,
I
this
wouldn't
is a
say
first
spark.
date.
Yeah. I'm not looking for a,
I did not get an erection at any point while looking
Exactly.
at you.
I mean, what does that mean?
Oh, God. "I had fun getting Thai food the other night, but ultimately I didn't feel a spark. Wish you the best."
Spark is
I
very
think
big on a
sparks.
first. You need
I think you
need a
got it.
spark on a first date.
Well, what else are you going to say? There's got to
Right.
be something there.
There's got to be something, but I think too many people look for the lightning when you touch hands. Like,
Sure.
man, even I wouldn't trust it if you felt it.
But that's what I'm saying. If on the first date you know it's not for you, then definitely say something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. "Hey, thanks so much for drinks the other night. After thinking about it a little more, I'm not ready to be dating right now, and I don't want to lead you on. That means I found somebody more attractive at the bar."
I'm just going to go blue in the face saying this. There's, like, whether it's one or whatever, there's no great way, unless somebody does something really bad, but it just sucks to be like, I don't know what it is. I don't want to be with you romantically.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Like, that's just a harsh thing to say to somebody. So you got to say something like,
Sure.
oh.
Exactly.
And maybe it's the truth.
Thanks so much
It
for
seems
dinner.
hard.
Right. But that's the risk that you take. That's the problem with it. It's like, okay, this is the part that sucks when it comes to dating.
Sure.
If the whole point is that breaking up with somebody sucks less than being alone. So get out there and give it a shot. It sucks, but it's a necessary part of it. Thanks so much for dinner the other night. I think we both felt more of a friend vibe. Wishing you all the best.
Yeah. All right. More of a friend vibe.
Friend vibe. That's just harsh.
Friend vibe would be like, let's go out again. Not interested in romantic.
Well, I've been on the other side of it, too, where you date for like a few months, and then it's like, I think we're better off as friends. Or it's like, well, I'm not going to call you. We weren't friends to begin with.
Right. This is how we know each other.
Hey, I had fun going out with you, but after thinking on it, I'm just not feeling a romantic vibe. I think it's best if we don't meet up again. Take care. Good God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, too.
I had fun the other night, but no, we're not looking for the same things. All the best. you determined that after one date.
All the best.
Looking for the same thing. Then I'll leave you with this one.
Let me just say this. This is also you gotta be super careful if you ever do get a date with your bartender.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because like,
is it your favorite bar?
Do you want to stop going to that bar?
Yeah. Correct.
You know what I mean? Like you better.
How do I get her fired?
Right.
I'll take it one step, even a regular. Because they're not going to give up that bar.
Exactly.
For you.
That's why
it's going to be awkward. It's like, I don't want to go there because such and such is going to be there.
That's why people recommend not dating within the workplace. It's like, if things don't work out, if it's a one-date thing, all right, it's fine. It flaked like it was. But if it's not, like, if this is a bad one, you got to see each other on Monday.
Even married couples that work together, they've been together for 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
But they're still going to have their bad moments.
Sure.
And I've worked with a few people in different industries like that, and generally speaking, they got along. But when they had either the bad night or the bad morning, don't know, it sucked for everyone.
Yeah. Exception BT.
Yeah, BT was up, but
he and his wife never.
I don't know that he has an emotional response to anything. My man is always good news, bad news. Dude never wavered. Ever.
Nah. And then I'm going to leave you with this one. This is the last non-awkward text to send a first date that you don't want to see again. Hi, it was fun going out, but I'm looking for a serious partner right now. I know we're not a long-term match. All the best.
Well, damn, now you just dumped it on someone else. Like,
Exactly.
well, I was being serious.
You don't need to be that harsh about it. That's all I'm going to go blue in the face.
I would say, nah. That's all mine would say. Nah.
I'm good.
N-A-H. Nah.
Miles, the plane had to make an emergency landing thanks to one stubborn passenger.
What was his problem?
I'll tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are counted at 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast an unidentified man from Jilin, China. All right, so doctors at a hospital there, they recently reported one of their more bizarre cases. A man had something stuck in his mouth because he was trying to film a funny video. So clips and photos of the man walking into the emergency room of a hospital. They've been doing the rounds on Chinese social media. Now, the premise didn't sound very intriguing, but what really attracted people's attention was what was in the man's mouth. So apparently he had tried to shoot a funny video to post online in which he tried to see if a certain object was small enough to fit into his mouth. The problem was, when he tried to pull it back out of his mouth muscles stiffened and the object became stuck. So after repeatedly trying to pull it out of his mouth, his girlfriend decided, hey, maybe you should go to the hospital. So doctors were obviously baffled until they heard the story. And the woman said that her boyfriend's face gradually turned red, and all of her efforts to yank the object free of his mouth, they were useless. That he drooled continuously because he could not close his mouth, and his throat made a gurgling sound. Well, the doctor that handled the case, he eventually managed to get the object out of the guy's mouth, but he said the reason it happens because the boyfriend's jaw muscles, they contracted, prevented him from opening his mouth. Then this created a dangerous cycle. The more pain he was in, the tighter he clenched his jaw. So to solve the problem, the hospital staff, first they had to calm him down, so they played soothing music. They also wanted to prevent him from vomiting or choking, and then they used a special mouth opener to expand his jaw enough to inject a muscle relaxant to a specific area to finally pull the thing out of his mouth. Now, originally, I had this set up for interior decorating for profile this. So I'm going to ask you guys anyway. And being that I'm toasting the guy, that might be the giveaway. So What did he have stuck in his mouth that he had to go to the hospital? Was it his cat's head, a tennis ball, a pool ball, or his girlfriend's fist?
Girlfriend's fist.
Now, girlfriend's fist.
Is that right?
Yeah, dude. They had to go to the. I've seen a couple of stills from it. I mean, her hand is just stuck in his mouth. They can't get the goddamn thing out, so they had to go to the hospital like that. And again, she said that he was choking so bad that all the drool and everything was like down to her elbow, and they thought that would loosen it up, but his jaw's clenched, man. So
and a hand like Bud Light Julie.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Her hand,
a big ass hand,
stuck in the mouth.
Oh no! He does not look okay.
No, he's not.
Wow, what a terrible haircut.
Yeah, that's our shot of the day. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola bichola. All right, let's get a contestant on the line now for Profile This, 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Thrill Hill, could you please tell me what Profile This is played?
Sure can. I sure can, man. It's a simple game.
Tell me.
Where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. All right, gentlemen, you are competing against one another today. And as always, you have your choice of one of three categories. Today, we offer you Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional object that someone chose to use as a weapon. Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. And finally today, License to Spill, where you guess the substance that made the mess.
Oh, let's do Hit Me. Have another Hit Me.
A 56-year-old woman in Florida named Shelley Hardwick. She got into a verbal altercation with her boyfriend last Sunday. And things got serious when she picked up something and threw it at the guy. Now, fortunately, he was able to dodge it for the most part. Now, she told cops that she only threw it out of frustration, but she denied trying to hit the boyfriend. But the cops looked at him and saw there was some evidence on his face and clothing. He's fine, by the way. Now, Shelley was arrested for domestic battery, spent the night in jail. She was ordered not to have contact with the boyfriend and to wear an ankle bracelet that monitors alcohol consumption because, she was real hammered. The question is, what did she throw at her boyfriend? Was it chicken nuggets? Was it a coconut? Was it an orange or was it a watermelon? So chicken nuggets, coconut, orange, or watermelon. What did this woman launch at her boyfriend and make contact with?
I'm thinking if she actually did some damage, that it's either a coconut or a watermelon.
What time of day did you say it was?
I don't know that they said.
It said Florida, 56 woman.
Just says last Sunday.
I'll go coconut.
You're going to go coconut. I think based on remnants, I'm going to go watermelon.
I'm going to say chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets for Ted.
Here's a 20-pack for your face, sucker.
What did she chuck at her boyfriend there? Chicken nuggets, coconuts, orange, or a watermelon? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
You're listening to The Men's Room.
You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Categories: hit me with your best shots. I'm profiling
Yes, sir.
Then a Florida one. She got into a fight with her boyfriend, and then it got physical. Well, actually, she just threw something at him. Must have partially hit him in the face because he had some remnants on there. But she was pretty drunk and was arrested for battery. Question is, what did she throw at her boyfriend? Chicken nuggets, a coconut, an orange, or a watermelon?
That's a question that I pose to you three fine gentlemen. We start with D. Ted Smith. You went with the chicken nuggets.
Damn.
You're not throwing the chicken nuggets, man. You might throw the salsa at him. I'm like, you got nuggets. Like, I'm mad at you, but I won't
even give you one.
Yeah.
Those are mine. You make your own.
I'm certainly not throwing one at you.
Yeah.
No, sorry, man.
I make nuggets at home in the air fryer. Give some out.
Would you
make
throw
extra?
one at someone? You're angry. There's so many other things you can throw.
If I make 6 for me, there's 6 for me.
Yeah, of course. Even if I make 7
piece.
for me.
Yeah.
Oh, if I make nuggets at home, we're having at least a 10-piece.
Mike Hawk, you went with the coconut. You're looking for maximum damage. Okay, I get a feeling she would have thrown it. Miles, you went with the old watermelon. Yes. You are correct. A whole goddamn watermelon, man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's insanity to throw a whole watermelon.
A whole
at somebody.
watermelon.
Come on.
Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
I feel gotta start off with I was not here on Friday as I was watching the Maryland Terrapins in their first round game in the NCAA tournament that was here in town. Has anybody else in this room been to an NCAA tournament game?
I have not.
Never.
All right. So on Friday, right, there was 2 sessions, right? There was the morning session, there was a game at 11, then you had the Maryland game on at 1:35. Then they kind of clear the arena. Then there's an afternoon session with 2 more games. Just go.
Really?
Like, I mean, obviously it was super cool because Maryland was involved, but man, just the energy. Like, first of all, there's a lot of people from out of town to see these other teams. Of course. So they're having fun. But then it's just a bunch of other sports nerds that are like, it's just cool to see. And like, you see it on TV, but when you got those pep bands going, you know what I mean? There's like chunks of these fans and that fan.
I was going to say, out of the 4 in the morning, who traveled best as far as fans?
Ooh. I mean, obviously the Ducks were playing that night.
Okay.
So Oregon was the closest team. So, like, even during the morning session, there was a ton of Duck fans there.
It's funny.
Which was odd because last night when you watch that Duck game, you heard a lot more of U of A chants.
Yeah.
Because I think also there's just enough Seattle Huskies or Coug people that were in that crowd that are like,
root against
we
the
hate
Ducks
the Ducks no matter what.
Well, it's funny because I was watching the Michigan State game, and they're like, wow, these fans travel well. Like, they're playing in Cleveland.
So that's the other thing, too, is like generally the higher seed you are, and like, look, I think there are a lot of things that are ridiculous with college sports as much as I love it. So, like, Maryland's in the West. They played in Seattle.
Right.
But, like, Florida, who's technically in the West, too, like, they've only played on the East Coast. So it used to be the regions really mattered where you played, and you wanted to be a higher seed, A, because it's easier, and then B, because you wanted to be close to home. So exactly for that, your fans could travel.
That's exactly
to see you play.
Yeah, I'm like, well, look at all these fans. I'm like, you're in Cleveland, Ohio. They're from Michigan.
Now, with that said, I did have tickets to the first game, but I knew where the team hotel was. So I talked to my brother. You know, I always rely on him for good advice. I said, hey, it's like a little pep rally, team send-off. But, you know, like the sports nerd in me says, go to the first game.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'd go to that send-off. So I was like, all right. So me and we had a whole group of us sitting down at Ozzy's having breakfast and having drinks. But like 3 of us went down there, right? And like even the waitress was like, hey, you still got your tab open. I was like, don't worry, I'll be back in 20 minutes. That was a lie. It took 40 minutes. But it was awesome. And you've heard me say this before, whether it's a bowl game or going for an NCAA tournament game, to see your team, especially college, on the road, it's just a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
So then you get into that Seattle or the Marriott down there on the waterfront. Miles Testudo's out there. It blew my buddy a kiss. You got like half the cheerleaders there. You got the pep band. They keep playing the fight song, all the Maryland chants. If you ever see those giant hats from Noggin Balls, we got free ones.
I was looking at those on TV, man.
Yeah. He's a University of Maryland graduate. Yeah, I'll wear the big hat on Thursday. I mean, it's awesome. But you see the team out, you're high-fiving people, and like I just can't explain it to you. Just a different sporting energy. Then you get back to the arena, people are pumped. People kept coming up to us, and they're like, we saw you guys with the giant hat. Everywhere you go in a giant hat, people are happy to see you.
Oh, yeah.
You're like your own human mascot. So, plus it was fun to talk ass to people in a giant hat. Because people are like, I don't know, to take you seriously.
How packed was the arena? Did it seem like it was sold out the morning session?
Hands down.
Okay.
And listen.
Well, that's good for the NBA. I mean, the people paying attention that Seattle is, in fact, a basketball team.
No, it was super packed. It was awesome. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't go to the evening session, but I know that was like just as crowded. And a good job, like I say, like it's a very fun environment. And then, frankly, you get to see some good teams too.
Yes.
So yeah, just an awesome deal.
And we're still playing in the tournament for you,
right? So then, yesterday on Sunday, I did not go to the game, but Maryland, Colorado State. You got to keep in mind, Maryland's the highest scoring starting five, the Crab Five. They average 69 points a game. But they just couldn't hit a shot all day.
No.
They finally take a lead with about a minute and a half left. You're like, all right. I was like, I feel comfortable. But again, they keep missing shots. Colorado
They
State
missed a lot.
goes down. They go up one. Maryland inbounds the ball. Now you have 3.7 seconds left.
3.2.
3.2. Maryland's only got one shot.
Maryland needs one bucket to keep its season alive. Gillespie from the out of bounds to the freshman Queen who's driving, floats it. Maryland on the right side of a buzzer beater with life into the Sweet 16.
Now, it's easier to play that audio not because I'm a Maryland fan, because it was the best game of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the Maryland coach with that win got a $75,000 bonus.
Yeah,
good for him.
Queen, the freshman, two great lines. They asked the coach after the game, they said, how'd you draw up that play? And he said, Queen said, give me the MF and ball. And then they asked Queen afterwards where he gets his confidence. He said, I'm from Baltimore.
Yep.
My brother Patrick.
I'm telling you, man, he's the last guy on an average basketball team that you'd want to take your last shot. Right? Typically, like, that's not the guy you're trying to get.
Well, he is freshman of the year.
Yes.
He's that good.
He is.
I said put it in his hands.
Really?
You live and die. Yeah. He's a freshman, but he's that good. I mean, Rice, shout out to Matha guy. It was either going to be in his hands and going down to him, or you start with him inbounding the ball to him.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great shot, man. I flew off the couch, freaked the dog out. Like, holy ass.
Pretty sure my neighbors were a little annoyed. It was just me and my buddy. We were jumping around. A cooler fell over. Also, shout out to Huskies. I went to the Husky baseball game Saturday night. Listen, if you like baseball, like we're whack jobs. We set up a tailgate. My buddy Jeff, his son, is a pitcher on the team.
All right.
You're allowed to tailgate baseball, but it was pretty fun. We had a couple kids with us. But also, like, if you like baseball, like, I'm telling you, look up the Husky schedule. Like, they're not having the best year, but it's cheap.
Right.
It ain't that crowded. You can pretty much sit wherever you want. If you're the parent, they sell an adult beverage.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good time.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful spot out there on the lake. Let's see. What good news or bad news? Let's start with bad news.
Bad news.
That was all the good news. This one's going to suck for Mike and I. I don't think it'll bother you guys that much, just because you don't watch the show as much. But you hear us talking about Impractical Jokers all the time.
Yeah.
So Joe Gatto,
That's who we interviewed, correct?
Yeah.
That is who we interviewed. So he had stepped away from the show, basically just said he needed to work on his personal life, which would sound like him and his wife kind of separated.
Yeah.
Then they ended up getting back together, I want to say last year or the year before. But now, two women, last Thursday, one went on TikTok and accused him of sexually assaulting her back in 2023. She, she was 19. Now, Joe Gatto, to his defense, he's basically like, I didn't assault anybody. He's like, I used poor judgment, may have resulted in violating the trust I have with people I love the most. Working on myself is an ongoing process. Need to take some time for the public eye to focus my energies on where I need to.
Yeah, that sounded very similar to the statement he told us when he was talking about leaving the show and he needed to work on his relationship at home.
Yeah.
And his kids were the most important part. And whatever was going on with he and his wife, just trying to get that patched up. So this is twice in a relatively short period of time where he's kind of issued almost the same statement.
Correct.
Because he quit the show. You know, I mean, he basically said, I want to go do my own thing. But I think that had to do with something more like, I need to spend more time at home and get this whatever situation is.
I think we figured it out.
Yeah.
Right. And that was always kind of the thing, too. To his credit on the show, I mean, he was pretty hard to beat. Not much things embarrassed him. And I can't remember, Mike, you watched that show before I did. Was he ever a boozer? I know he was pretty strict about, like, not right that he's sober, but I couldn't tell if he was one of those guys that never did and then quit.
No, I don't believe he ever actually picked up drinking. I think it was his dad was a drinker that he didn't want to repeat, so I think he abstained like from jump.
Yeah, because I want to say Sal and what's the name? Like
Vern and Q.
Yeah, I think like one of them, like Q was a fireman. I think Sal like owned a bar or worked at a bar, but like it's never been a huge part of their show. Every once in a while, they kind of have drinks or whatever, but you'd always notice Gatto did not.
Correct.
See, like his biggest vice was sweets.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, that was always the thing. Like, you got to have snacks back here. Like, I'm not doing this without snacks.
Then he had the one season where he just trimmed back on everything and he lost a crap ton of weight.
Correct. So, I mean, you never want to hear about anything bad like that, so I don't know. They'll figure it out. With that said, I've watched some of the new Impractical Jokers. Joe was great on it. It's still a very funny show. I think they've done a good job of they'll bring in like kind of
guest or whatever.
What's that?
A guest, like somebody who's
they'll
there
bring
for
in like a
episode or
celebrity,
two.
kind of have do some of it with them. I mean, I also think eventually those guys just got big enough where it's hard to do that stuff without somebody recognizing them,
right?
Mm-hmm. You know, like these people that do stuff online and everything. Like a lot of them aren't stars yet.
Yeah, we don't know who you are, so you can pull the prank off a lot easier.
Yeah, some of those guys are risking death too, man. There's one guy I started following. It's a black dude, and he just goes to like the hoods upon hoods, and he's like, it's a prank, and I'm like, you're gonna get shot.
You're going to get shot, man.
Yeah, he's like dropping guns and money, and then people are like, this is mine now. And he's like, I need it back. I'm like,
okay,
yeah, do your own thing. I mean,
good luck.
Have at it, buddy.
Correct.
Yeah,
that's one of those things you're like, I don't know, dude. You got your own thing going on there. Go ahead and try that. We talked about severance a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the thing is, right, you kind of cut off part of your day, right? So it severs your work life from your personal life. So you don't remember working. You just fast forward to the end of the day, you go home, you get 8 hours a day. You lose 8 hours a day, literally.
All right.
Right? But you don't worry about work when you're home and stuff because it really doesn't exist to you. So that's the question they're asking people now, like, would you agree to this?
I've had jobs where I would have, for sure. But like, if I don't have to think about this, and not so much about when I get home from work, but thinking about what I have to do when I get to work.
Yeah. I've also had situations which were the reverse. Like, I wanted to stay working as much as I could because at home was not a good situation. So, like, to me, it was like, yeah, it's probably going to be another hour here. But no, you go ahead and eat. No, go ahead. I mean, if you're that starving, sounds like you're hangry. You go ahead. I'll take care of myself.
Yeah, some of my old restaurant jobs and all that. Not all of them, but there were a few where it's like, yeah, if you could sever that for me, I would be A-okay with that. This job, I like.
Sure.
Like, no, man, I want to remember this. It's a good time.
It is. I think it would just, I don't know, like, I think it would affect what you do in your personal life, too.
Sure.
Like, if I just knew I could do whatever I want and then go to sleep on Sunday night and just wake up and it's Monday evening at 7 and I'm just sitting on my couch and be like, all right. But then I'd also probably be a degenerate every damn Sunday.
But here's the thing, but you're still working. Like, I know I'd definitely be a degenerate. But on the other hand, apparently I'm doing okay at the job. I still got it. I just know nothing about it. I don't even know what I do. Right? I don't know what I do for a living. I have a paycheck. Cool.
Well, they do call it Sunday Fun Day.
Yeah.
Not being a degenerate, but I mean, typically
you're being a degenerate.
Yes.
Well, yeah. But Sunday Fun Day, like, I try not to say that term too often because I feel like once you speak it into its existence and you're like, we're having a Sunday Fun Day, then you've pretty much committed to that Monday's going to kind of suck.
If you say it out loud to a group of people, it's almost like saying we just got a free trip to Vegas. Like, everyone drops their guard down, like, let's do it.
Yeah. And trust me, not at all. But, man, if you're drinking during the day and then try to take a nap in the evening and you wake up, it's 10:30 at night. That is such a weird feeling.
It is.
I mean, luckily, maybe there was F1 qualifying on at midnight. I don't know. That's what some people are saying.
Happens to the best of them, Miles.
Yep.
I know you got some of the women's tournament still going on. You might have a couple spring training games. I think they're about wrapped up as, first pitch of the regular season starts on Thursday.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Hey, it's Gemma Spegg, host of the Open Mind original podcast, Mantra. Every Monday, I'll bring you a new mantra, a simple yet powerful phrase to help you clear your mind and stay grounded amidst the chaos. I'll also share some personal stories, journal prompts, and a weekly challenge to bring each mantra to life. Follow and listen to Mantra, an Odyssey podcast in partnership with Open Mind Studios, available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida woman runs over a cyclist and continues driving to the country club. Meanwhile, because a man would not stop clicking his lighter, a plane has to land at a different hub. Canadian woman learns what happens when you try to hold a parking space. 10 of 13 police cars crash after being involved in a high-speed chase. And doctors in New York cure a man of sickle cell anemia. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
And our top story, we take to the skies where one stubborn passenger managed to ground a plane. While on the flight bound from Dallas to New York, flight crews turned their attention to the passenger who was fiddling with an item, a lighter that he had in his possession. Now, they were saying, how did he get the lighter on board? You are allowed to have one lighter on.
Yeah, you can bring a lighter on board.
You just can't pull it out while you're on the plane.
Yeah.
While he wasn't burning anything with the lighter, he was sparking it up periodically, and apparently enough to warrant attendants asking for him to surrender it for the remainder of the flight. This was clearly not an option for our passenger, as he refused to give up the lighter, in spite of crews demanding that he relinquish it, and even a threat from the cockpit with the captain saying that he would divert the plane to Atlanta if he didn't give up the lighter. The passenger stood his ground, and the plane was forced to land, where officers removed the passenger and took him in for a mental evaluation. Video of the interaction was shared online.
It seems that way. He just wasn't very rational.
No, he wasn't.
And he didn't seem to be drunk in the video.
No.
So, I think there might be something going on.
He just refused to do it. And the
simplest command.
Right. Which, the fact that they brought him in for a mental evaluation tells me that it wasn't as simple as it looks from our end. Like,
correct. Yeah, guaranteed.
Give him the doggone lighter, man. But
anyone else would just be arrested. In this case, there's more to this.
Right. Let's take you in.
I gotta have my lighter.
How you doing, buddy?
That's scarier.
It is.
It is.
And drunk guy can be crazy and out of control, but at some point, I'm like, all right.
Right.
Like somebody just kind of crazy like that, you're like, who knows what they're gonna do?
Well, and he was even over the speaker on the plane, like, you will get it back when we land in New York.
Right.
We don't want you to have it now.
I've never heard the pilot talk to an individual passenger before.
No kidding. Dude.
That was weird.
Mid-flight.
Like, hey, buddy.
B-16. Seriously, man.
Right.
Cut this out.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. Or I'm going to take the plane and land it.
Right. I will turn this plane around. And don't make me stop. In other news, to Winnipeg, where another situation boiled out of control, a woman was in the parking lot adjacent to a recreational facility and took it upon herself to scout out a potential parking spot for a family member that was on their way, weaving through the actual lot of the facility before conceding to park at the adjacent lot. The woman did find a spot and saved it for the family member by standing in it, and that's about the time that another car attempted to park there. An argument ensued between the car and the pedestrian because she refused to move and the car wanted to park there, but it eventually ended with the driver of the car forcing their way into the spot, knocking over the pedestrian and lodging her underneath the front of the car. The driver eventually thought better of the situation and left the scene, quote, with no concern for the victim, who had probably just pissed her off. The victim was taken to the hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries to her lower body, and a suspect was arrested for the collision there. I've seen videos of that, and there is very little that is more rage-inducing than somebody who's just standing in a spot waving you off.
That's not how it works.
Right. That is just not how this works.
If they're here, they can have the park. If they're not here, then that's not how it works.
Exactly. And don't use the fact that they have a bigger machine than you, so therefore they can't do anything about it, because if they do, then they're going to go to jail, to then stand in a spot and just insist that you're not going to move. That makes you a douchebag, and now I have to act.
And have you seen people lately?
Yeah.
You ain't going to make great decisions when they're angry.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's just popping off. But not to be outdone, a woman in Palm Beach, Florida is facing charges for her driving habits. She was driving down the road when she came upon a bicyclist traveling in the same direction. It's not clear whether she fully knew it or not, but the woman did make contact with the bike, causing the rider to fall, and both he and his bike were drugged by the woman's Mercedes for a short distance. After they separated, the woman continued on her way, not immediately stopping following the collision. Police eventually tracked her down to a local country club where she had where the valet reported that she had dropped off the car, commenting that she thinks she may have hit something on the way, and went in for her golf lesson.
Damn. Oh, how about your driving lesson?
Yeah, she was arrested and faces some serious charges. The bicyclist was transported to the hospital to be treated for injuries, including a compound fracture to his tibia.
Ooh. Did you get her license plate? Yeah, she dragged me like 30 feet. I kind of...
And that's another one where she was old enough to where it's like, okay, let's get her evaluated and see if she actually should still have a driver's license.
I would say no.
Right.
It might be time to take that.
Yeah, she's not ancient, but if you can drive in the same direction as a bicycle, hit them, drag them, and go, I think I might have hit something.
Yeah, don't drive.
Right.
That's all. You can be 30 years old and do that. Like, don't drive.
Correct.
Do not
if
drive.
you can't pay that simple amount of attention... Because it's, bikes, they can be annoying. Look, bicyclists have pissed me off.
Hit them.
Right. And they're not invisible either.
Yeah, that's a human being.
Criminy. But just in case those stories have a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
A young man in New York has a new lease on life thanks to being the first patient cured with a new treatment. He'd suffered his life with a genetic disorder known as sickle cell anemia, a genetic mutation meant to protect humans from the malaria parasite, but sometimes results in blood cells taking on a sickle shape and creates difficulty for those cells to reach the heart, resulting in pain throughout the body. He had pain in his heart, in his chest, he had pain in his legs, in his hips, in his arms, he had it everywhere. Our 21-year-old is the first to try the breakthrough Lyfgenia treatment, I believe is how you say that. And over the last few months, doctors can now officially say that he has been cured of sickle cell.
That's crazy.
He looks at this day as his new birthday and says that there's nothing that's going to stop him now.
He was then hit by the driver in Florida.
Like when they released that Falcon.
He began a 500-mile bicycle journey.
It's by an 18-wheeler, boat.
I got it.
Thankfully, there's good news.
Oops, not that one. Men's Room Sports, brought to you by the fine folks at Sports on What. As Ted mentioned, we have a few sports that are on tonight. Nothing really local. Local's a little bit quiet as we're getting ready for the start of the MLB season. Hockey's starting to wrap down, but you do have spring training baseball, NBA basketball, and college tournament hoops, and you can find out where and when to watch all those games in one convenient location. It is called the Sports on What app. As far as your weather, boys, it is time. Should just be sticking to cloud cover tonight as temperatures drop to 48, but hold on to your hats. We're looking at a partly cloudy day tomorrow with an astonishing high of 68 degrees.
Nice.
Yeah, 68 degrees. The sun's finally coming.
Just stop there, bro.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. That's it for headlines with that. Mike Hawkins out.
Lovely ladies tomorrow on Sit and Spin. Speaking of, the lovely Jolene is up next.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.